Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O.
South Florida's premier law enforcement agency is now hiring individuals like you. The Fort Lauderdale Police Department is now accepting applications for non-certified and certified police officer positions. Minimum requirements and qualifications can be found at flpdjobs.com. That's flpdjobs.com. Are you ready? The city of Fort Lauderdale is an equal opportunity employer.
Hey, it's Big O. Protect your home the way we do with Sloman's Home Security, folks. And if you want some great news, how about this? A free doorbell camera. That's right. The first 40 Big O listeners who dial 1-800-ALARM-ME will get this limited time offer of a free doorbell camera that connects directly to your smartphone with installation of your Sloman's Shield. And that's not all, folks. Sloman's is going to give you a free customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. So you're getting an LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, 3 arm doors, and backup battery. Plus, if you're one of the first 40 Big O listeners to call 1-800-ALARM-ME, you'll receive a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman's Shield. Keep your family safe like we do here in the Alzigari family. Call 1-800-ALARM-ME. That's 1-800-ALARM-ME.
When protecting your family is your priority, there's nothing more important than a roof above the people you love. Call Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises.com, 954-735-9826 or 954-394-1411 and ask to speak to Tommy, the owner. They specialize in all kinds of roofs, led by their highly crafted, skilled, and professional roof mechanics. All of their previous customers have an opportunity to enter their bi-weekly drawings to receive free an exterior impact metal door. Please call for more details. That's Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises.com, 954-735-9826 or 954-394-1411. Trust Tommy to fortify and protect what's most important to you, your family.
This is the Big O Show.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
It's the Big O Show. You're tuned in to the hottest sports radio.
When you need your warehouse looking good while staying efficient, there's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City in Hialeah. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Pallet Rack City is the company you need when you want your warehouse sporting the finest racks in the business. After all, who doesn't love a great rack? Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547.
Orlando, a.k.a. the Big O. He covers all the South Florida teams.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Dolphins to the heat, well, you know what I mean. Monday to Friday, Spotty Pablo in the...
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Show O's on the radio, the top's where we gonna go, Miami, that's the way we roll.
Folks, you can support the hardest working sports talk show in South Florida through Cash App or Venmo. Just search Cash Big O Show. Support us through Cash App or Venmo. Cash Big O Show. We thank you for your incredible support.
On the morning show, Big O, no one has a similar show. Talk sports, talk plays, talk...
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Live and direct, because nobody do it better than Big O in the set. From sunrise, listen live.
When you're ready to purchase a new home or refinance the one you have, American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy with fast approvals and quick closings. With many loan programs and competitive rates, now is the time to turn your dreams into reality. Ask about special financing for veterans. They never charge an application fee, and you will work directly with one of their experienced loan professionals. Stop dreaming and contact American Dream Lending today, 786-802-1727, or online at adreamlending.com. The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of fantasyxs.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
There we go. All righty. Welcome aboard. We're coming to you live. It's Thursday, right? So Thursday means what? We are at Hialeah Park and Casino. Yes, we're at the second floor poker room. We see the folks there at the poker room having some fun. Let's see, is it this way, I think? There we go. All right, it's a beautiful thing. Anyway, hope you all are doing well out there and feeling good on a beautiful Thursday. We are feeling good here on the program. Lots of things going on, and it's a happy time. It's a happy time right now on the program, so we appreciate all of you out there as always, man. Feeling good, working my ass off, but feeling really good on all of this. But lots of things to talk about today, as always. Joe Shad will stop by around 11:15. So we'll talk with him. We'll talk a little Dolphins football and the American Dream Lending.com Miami Dolphins report. Yesterday, I was telling you about the Heat, right? That you're going to watch anyway because you don't care who's missing, who's injured, who's got COVID, because you know they got a shot. And yesterday was a great example because Lowry gets ejected, Tyler Hero gets ejected, and they still win the game. And that was just awesome. The Struce was loose. What do you have? Like 20-something points or something? 25 points, man. I mean, he was lighting it up from three. Caleb Martin is just one of those guys that you just I like everything I see about Caleb, man. You know, it just seems like a player that's developing and coming into his own. It's just like the Heat not only knows how to develop players, but instill confidence in them, to believe in themselves, to go out there. I mean, Yurtsevin is a rebounding machine, dude. What do you have, 17 or something yesterday? 16 rebounds yesterday. I stayed up late, I watched the game. I was working too at the same time. So, but I would have stayed anyways up for the game, to be honest with you. That's just who I am. But it was, and again, isn't it worth it? Right? Like, I wake up this morning, I'm like, damn, dude. You're in pain a little bit, but last night was fun. Last night was fun because you take so much pride as a sports fan. Look, the Dolphins let us down so much that we need the Heat to always pick us up. That's kind of what's gone on the last 25 years. If you notice the correlation, okay, that when Riley took over, the Dolphins have been, just absolutely crappy pretty much. And we've needed Riley because it's been a really tough 25 years as a Dolphins fan, and it's been a glorious 25 years as a Heat fan. And last night is just another example of why you have so much pride in that organization and the way they play. And, and listen, not for anything, but I kind of was looking forward to all of this because I wanted to see the development of the young guys. And as I led into Pallet Rack City inside the paint show yesterday, this is the best thing that can happen to the Miami Heat. Not the injury to Butler or to Bam or anything like that, but if that's going to happen to you, the fact that you do have these kind of players that you can develop, and once your stars, your studs are healthy, this team is going to be so deep that when Spo looks down the bench, he has options. It's not a limitation. No. He's got to pick and choose who he's going to piss off and who he's going to make happy. That's a nice problem to have. Because if everybody else played and stayed healthy and the young guys didn't really get a lot of playing time, they'd sit there on the bench thinking, well, this is what I normally do, so what am I going to expect? But now that they've had this success, now that they've developed, now that they've elevated that confidence, you got a bunch of hungry dogs out there. Like, hey, coach, let me in. I've done it before for you. I can do it again. That kind of stuff. Duncan came off the bench yesterday. Right? So, you start looking at that and you start saying, and as we pointed out before anybody else, a couple weeks back, because of all this development, if you need that extra point guard behind Lowry, or you want to get a stretch 4 or 5, Duncan Robinson might be the option. Because if Max Strus is developing, if Caleb Martin is developing, all of a sudden, you find a Kyle Guy. And, oh, by the way, I forgot Gabe Vincent. Another guy that's developed. I mean, it's really, it just fills you up with pride when you watch the Miami Heat, right? I mean, that's just what it is. It's like, this is how you feel invincible as a fan. Not because the Heat win the championship every year or anything. It's because you feel invincible because it's kind of like the Shula thing. That when we grew up with Shula, we knew we could always count on the Dolphins to be a really good team, a smart team, usually win, usually be the smarter team on the field, make less mistakes, all the things that you can respect. That even if they lost the game, it wasn't because they were out-coached or because your offensive line coach really sucks or your offensive coordinators are fighting like the Three Stooges and trying to decide what play to run. None of that stuff was going on. And this is kind of the Heat and, Riley and Shula are they're like the same dude in a way, different sports, whatever, but the results and the discipline and the demands and the consistency, they're all the same. They're all the same, and I'm going to go to the Super Bowl with Woodstock, and I'm going to win my 325th game with Doug Peterson, and it doesn't matter who I have in there. We're going to win. We're going to find a way to get it done. And that was Shula, and that is Riley, and that is that organization. And so Spo can just coach anyone. And he creates a system and he creates an environment that obviously people are able to thrive in. And last night is just another example, man. Just a lot of fun watching the Heat play last night. 115, 109. No matter how tired I was and what kind of what's it called, mental flow I was in when I was writing. Last night was a lot of fun watching that game. Strus 25 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. Tyler Hero, and by the way, I have no problem with Tyler pushing Jerkic. Do you? Because it was kind of dirty what Jerkic did too, right? I mean, it was like an unnecessary hard foul.
Yes, it was, but at the same time, he pushed him in the back again. That's the only thing I would have to say.
Right. No, I know
he pushed him in the back. That's the only thing that I didn't like about what Tyler did.
Yeah, but I mean, he's half his size.
And it doesn't matter, man. Did we not get enough from the Markieff Morris thing?
I know, but he crushed him, and then he walked away. And so this is different than the Markieff Morris. You blindsided somebody to initially start it. This is a retaliation for what he considered was an unnecessary foul.
But then do it the right way. Wait to do it the next way down.
He doesn't cover him.
You could find a way. Trust me. There's not a lot of places to go on a basketball court. You can make it happen.
Yeah.
That's the only. I mean, look, I agree. He needed to do something.
Yeah.
He couldn't just let it go either. Now I get that.
You know what I'm saying?
But at the same time, it was kind of like, wait a minute, did we not learn from this before? Because what if he doesn't just kind of smush him in the face?
Because at the park that happens, Sean. What happens? We're fighting.
Yeah, but at a park,
I'm just saying.
I mean, you don't have to play.
I know, but it's uncalled for. That's
why 100%.
That's why I you're right, and he's right.
Yeah, no, he had to retaliate. You know
what I'm saying? And you're saying the same thing. That you're right, but he's also right.
Yeah, no,
it's
I just wish he would have done it a different. Instead of blindside, because then my worry is this. We saw what happened with Markieff Morris.
Right.
Look, we can't lose Tyler Hero right now for 10 to 12 weeks. I mean, what are we on right now with Markieff Morris?
No. You saw how big he was when Lowry was out, bro.
I mean, this is a guy. Look, at that point, I would rather say, okay, Mario Chalmers, get in the game, do something.
Yeah.
I know UD's out, but if somebody like that, you do something, get an enforcer in there. And we don't need to lose Tyler for some stupidity.
Pittman.
Because, there we go.
Remember that?
Because Trailblazers right now have nothing to lose. They've lost McCall. They've got McCollum's out. They've lost Lillard. They've got nothing to lose. That guy's got nothing to lose. He
forearmed the point guard, didn't he? Pittman?
I think he did.
The guy that does he's a good player, but he doesn't get along. What's his name? That was with the Boston Celtics, right? It was him. And with the Lakers and all that.
Isaiah Thomas?
No. The one that can't shoot. He won a
Rondo.
Rondo. Wasn't it Rondo that he clotheslined? Pittman?
Might have been.
Pittman came in for retaliation. I forgot what Heat player took a hit. Mm-hmm. And then Pittman came in and just...
Yeah, I mean, at that... Again, there's only, a minute? I mean, we're at the end of the game again. It seems like, at that point, it's like my worry is that the retaliation from...
Right.
The other player would have been worse to take Tyler out, and that's what we don't need right now.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Although I do believe that he could find somebody else, maybe possibly to replace him, but I don't want to take that chance.
Lowry only played 16 minutes, obviously, after because he got ejected. Yurtseven, bro, 14 points, 16 rebounds, 4 assists. PJ Tucker, 14 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists. He's just like a man, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, PJ Tucker brings it. Duncan was off the bench, 4 of 6 from three-point range at least. So he scored 12 points in the process. But again, really, really nice win for the Miami Heat on the road. I don't care what they're missing. I don't care what the Heat was missing. Either way, everybody has their issues. The Heat is on the road. They're on the road trip. There's no asterisks there, bro. That was a heck of a win for that team yesterday. That was really, really cool. 855-912-1056 if you want to get in on the program. That's 855-912-1056 if you want to get in on the program. You can also reach out to us here on the YouTube channel. Don't forget, please, to smash that like button. Please, while you're watching, while you're listening on the podcast, it's very important that you smash the like button there on the podcast or on the YouTube channel. Yahoo email is bigoradioshow@yahoo.com. Twitter, Big O Show. And of course, if you want to make a donation, Cash App or Venmo, that is Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. I see Jamie Zorrilla there in. Jay Gelfin in says, happy, thankful Thursday, Orlando and Sean. I'm excited about the look of the Miami Heat going forward as they get players back from injury. Tyler pushed to the back last night was a definite no-no. It was, but again, it's the whole Chris Rock line. I don't condone it, but I understand, right? Something like that, right? That's the line that Chris Rock would use. So I'm with you, Jay. I don't condone it, but I understand. And so, I kind of get it. All right. So love the rapid development of Omar Yurtseven. Yeah, no, it's been enormous to watch that. I mean, Dedmon's like, injury, hurry up and heal. I'm losing minutes because he's becoming. See, the thing is, he's not the defensive player that Dedmon is yet. So that's where Dedmon's still going to have the in. But, dude, he can rebound as good as Dedmon or better rebounder. And he's definitely got more offensive skill set than Dedmon. And Dedmon has shot a couple threes. But you can tell that Yurtseven is one of those guys that's going to continue to develop because he's got the skill set, the athleticism, the flow, the touch. It looks to me like he's a guy that you're going to work on that shot. He hit one yesterday. I want to say he hit one yesterday. I'm going to look at the box score. I watched the game. I know I was writing and everything at the same time, and obviously I got, a couple dogs all over me and my wife and all that, but I'm pretty sure that Yurtseven hit a three I saw last night. I'll look it up now and see. I know my man Sean is doing the same thing now, looking it up, but I'm pretty sure he hit at least one. I think that's all he took. I'm not sure if he even took another one, actually. I'd have to look it up. Sean will look it up for me there, but I'm pretty sure he hit one. But, yeah, I like what I see from the kid, man. I really do. Omar Lopez in. Ian from Brooklyn in. He did, right? 101. See, I knew it, bro. I watched the games. Steve Chapman. Thomas Jensen in. Raul Yorka says, Big O, what do you think about Rex Ryan being our head coach? I feel he's a good coach and coaches well with passion. Raul, that was the key right there, my man. Raw BS only goes so far. I'm not a raw BS fan. That's Rex Ryan. He had his moment in the sun. We have to stop this. And we have a disease in this country that because a team goes on some kind of a streak or because they had one good season, that makes somebody a good coach. Sometimes you're in the right place at the right time, okay? And that's Sperano at 11-2. That's Gase at 10-6. That's Flo with 7 in a row, all that stuff. That's Jim Harbaugh getting to the Super Bowl. Sometimes the environment around you, the players that you have are just, Dave Wanstead. Do you think he's really an 11-10 win coach? No. It's that he had Jason Taylor and Zach Thomas and Sam Madison and Pat Surtain and Tim Bowens. Then he had some bad mofos. And then 1 year or 2 years, he had Ricky Williams. And, he had Oronde Gadsden. He had guys that could make some plays for him. Lamar Smith, who carried the team and then carried Wanstead in the locker room. We have to stop with this crap, dude. You know what I mean? And that, to me, is the problem. And Rex Ryan went to the AFC Championship game twice. Big effing deal. That team was loaded. It's not that he was a great coach. They were loaded. They were a quarterback away from being a Super Bowl winner. I'm not kidding you. That's how good the run game was, the offensive line and the defense. You have that, you should win a Super Bowl with a decent quarterback. You don't even need a superstar quarterback. If you have a dominant running game, an offensive line, and a defense, with the Jets had all of that, all you need is a decent game manager and you will win the Super Bowl. They were fundamentally set for it all. So if anything, I'll tell you, Rex Ryan's indictment was that he could not finish the job. They gave him the talent to get there and he could not finish the job. They gave Dave Wanstead the talent to win 10 or 11 games. He could not finish the job. You know, we got to stop with this, man. We get into this thing and we start masking it and we don't look for what it really is. You know, this year's a perfect example. They're winning games. Meanwhile, while they're winning games, I'm telling you, that coaching staff is terrible. Because that's what it takes to have some balls, some vision, and to actually be objective about the whole situation. But fans are fanatical and usually blind, and so they just get caught up in the emotional moment. Oh, Adam Gase kept the team together. Oh, Sperano kept the team together. Oh, Flo kept the team together. Oh, Jim Harbaugh kept Jim, not John. Jim Harbaugh kept the team together, and they got to the Super Bowl with Cap. Dude, they got to the Super Bowl with Cap because they were so loaded. They won 10 games because they were pretty good last year. And they're winning 8 or 9 this year because they're pretty good. They got some talent. But the head coach can't put a coaching staff together. But we get blinded by these wins. And we actually try to label somebody what they're not. And flash in the pans mean nothing. It's the people that are consistent. It's the people that can do it year in and year out. That's when you find out you're great. That's when you find out you're special as a player or as a coach. We jump to these conclusions that if a quarterback has half a good season, all of a sudden he's a great player. Or if he has one good year, all of a sudden, yeah, he's an all-pro and headed for the Hall of Fame. What we have to do is take a couple steps back and wait for the quarterback to do it for another couple seasons. And then you will know if you've got the real deal. You've got to let a coach show you over time that they can consistently get into the playoffs to show you that they're a good coach. Not because they sporadically won 10 games or 11 or snuck into the playoffs. That doesn't make you a good coach. And we have this thing that, man, I just don't get it. And it happens and this is a perfect example. This season here, we have blind-ass Dolphin fans that think that Brian Flores is a good coach. And I get it, dude. I was blinded by it too early on. And I thought of it too throughout last year also. But this year opened my eyes all throughout the year that I was wrong. And you know what? This happened to me with Gase. I didn't know much about Gase when they hired him. In theory and everything that was out there, it looked like a good hire. And then his first year at 10-6, I like what I saw. Second year, by the middle of the second year, I was off the bandwagon. Because you have to, just because you like it doesn't mean that you're right. Or even just because you don't like it doesn't mean you're right either. You got to start to assess it over time. Do you have the right person? And so over time, you find out that Sperano or Philbin or Gase or Flo, they're not the right guy. And we have to stop with this overreaction where we're so quick to label people like they've arrived when they've barely ever accomplished anything whatsoever. Like some of you, Herbert is a fantastic athletic talent. There's no doubt about that. But we still don't know if he's a difference maker, a winner in key moments, because that's what you're going to need from a quarterback. So when he does that on a consistent basis, then that part of his game will match his talent. Because I've seen a lot of guys that look like Justin, but then in the end, when you need them, they don't come through. So that's why I tell people always pump the brakes, bro. Justin may be a hell of a player, but wait till he actually proves it. I've seen plenty of guys that have talent. Jeff George had all kinds of talent, dude. One of the best arms I've ever seen. And it reminds me a lot of when I see Justin Herbert, a great physical talent. But over time, you found out what Jeff George was, right? You young people have no idea what the hell I'm talking about, but older people know what I'm saying. So let's find out what Justin Herbert's all about. Let's find out what Baker Mayfield is all about. Let's find out what Tua is all about. Let's give these guys some time to develop. Kyler Murray, you name it. All of these young cats. Over time, they have to show you that they can be the difference makers and win in key moments and be and lift your team in those key moments. And when you're winning significant games, then yes. And when you're a coach and you're doing it like Spo on a consistent basis, that's when you're great. You're not great because you did it for a year or two and you're Brad Stevens. You got to do more than that, bro. You got to accomplish more than that. And we were quick to label Brad Stevens. Great. And was he great? No, he's not great. Right? But boy, we got on that Brad Stevens bandwagon quickly and we were labeling him one of the best coaches in the NBA. And he's not. He wilted eventually. Couldn't get it done. So we wait until he can prove to us that he can be a consistently great coach. Then we can call him a great coach. It's just one of those deals, man. We do this all the time. Oh, Zion Williamson's going to be awesome. Well, let's wait until he can actually get on the court and play. That was my concern with Zion Williamson from day one. I was always a John Morant guy. I said, physically, I don't know if that guy's going to be able to hold up with that body. And sure enough, that's what's gone on. Let's wait till he actually gets on the court. We know he's a physical talent, but he hasn't proven that he can win it all, that he can lead a team, that he can be the guy. He's proven to us that he can break down like crazy. And obviously, he's like me. He loves food. So let's pump the brakes before we start giving labels out. Let's wait for them to actually earn those labels. And if I didn't answer the question for you, I'll answer it now. I want nothing to do with Rex Ryan. Okay? Nothing to do with Rex Ryan. I think Rex Ryan is a clown that runs his mouth. I think he's maybe a defensive coordinator, and that's it. Okay? I don't think he's a head coach in any stretch whatsoever. So you and I will disagree completely on Rex Ryan. Andy Rios, thank you for some love on the super chat. He says LeBron must be licking his chops, wishing he could trade for some of these young studs. The Heat showcasing with all of our injuries. I don't even know if the Lakers have anything to trade anymore. Yeah, LeBron. Yeah. Yeah, because you're going to have to trade AD at 5 cents on the dollar. What?
They're talking about having to let go of, is it Cousins? Is Cousins still on the Lakers? There's two people they may have to let go just because they have to free up spots. They're
for next year or something?
For this year.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I see.
So they're looking at probably at the trade deadline area.
Moving guys.
Yep. So some big. Oh no, it's DeAndre Jordan.
Oh, okay.
DeAndre Jordan and one more. I can't remember who else it was. There's one other player the Lakers may have to let go.
All right. Well, I don't feel sorry for them. That's for sure. Mausito Anakin says, Big O, mi hermano, off topic. I'm curious, what's your opinion on LeBron versus Jordan? I love hearing your show every morning. Jordan, every day of the week and twice on Sundays. That's all. No whining, no complaining, just going out there and getting it done, my brother, and making everybody better around him. And he's just more clutch than LeBron. LeBron is a phenomenal all-around player, one of the greatest ever. He is the more athletic version of Magic Johnson, is what he is. I'll still take Magic Johnson to run my team because I just love the way he set everybody up. You know what I'm saying? I just thought he was also the first ultimate mismatch at the point guard position that ever existed because nobody ever saw a 6'9" point guard like Magic. But if you're asking me LeBron and Jordan, I've always taken Jordan every day of the week. That's just it's not even a discussion in my mind. You know, I watched Jordan hit the game-winning shot in college for North Carolina when college basketball was college basketball, not what it is now, dude. Okay? All right, all right, not what it is now, please. Okay? But when college basketball was real, with real stars, you know, Michael Jordan's been coming through from the get-go. So it just that to me there's no comparison at all. It's just we could compare talents and have that argument, but in the end, what comes to the deciding factor, the clutch moments, the championships, all that from college all the way through. You see, as I always tell everybody, LeBron had to learn in the NBA how to be clutch, how to be cutthroat, nasty. He had to come to the Miami Heat in order to become that guy, right? We all know, right? Game 6, Boston, right? That was graduation day, right? Graduation day for Michael Jordan was at the Dean Dome. That's the difference. Okay? The kid was already money as the kid. That's the difference, dude. Michael didn't have to learn to be clutch. Michael didn't have to learn to be cutthroat. Michael was born cutthroat. Okay? You don't go to North Carolina and just do what he did. That shows you who you are. So that's why, to me, there's no comparison whatsoever. None. One guy was born a son of a bitch. The other guy had to learn to be one. Huge difference, man. Huge difference. Let's see. What else do we have here? Jeff says Herbert and Burrow will be in the playoffs, Tua not. That says it all. Who are the franchise QBs? Exactly. Of course. That's exactly what it says. That's it. It's that simple. That's it. And Jim Kelly went to 4 Super Bowls and Marino went to 1. So it definitely means that Jim Kelly is 4 times better than Dan Marino. Right, Jeff? Right? Because that's what you're saying, right? And then since Montana won 4 Super Bowls, then that means he's about 100 times better than Dan Marino. I mean, that's your logic, right, Jeff? You know, so Dan Marino really wasn't that much, according to Jeff. He only got to 1 Super Bowl and lost it. So I guess Dan Marino must have been, you know, yeah, he must have been like, you know, some scrub quarterback that got lucky he got to a Super Bowl. Yeah, you know, that's what it means, Jeff. It's a la Marino, bro. I get it, man. I got you, bro. That's exactly how football is played. It's a one-man game. We should call Danny Manning. Maybe he'll carry the Dolphins to a Super Bowl. Amen on that, Big O. He's a joke. Loving on his father, Buddy Ryan, and Rex. Win-loss record, 65-68. Fins for life. Yeah, Rex Ryan is just it's Dan Campbell, guys. I've watched this coach over the years. It hasn't changed, dude. Ray Rhodes was that guy. Let me see. It'll come to mind. I'm 55. I've seen so many damn coaches. They're not the first raw guys to come in and out of the league. I know as time goes on here on the show before 1:00, I will come up with another one or two of those raw guys that were in this league, and they weren't really great coaches. It was just that kind of crap. And that stuff just doesn't last. You got to outthink the other coach. Jerry Glanville kind of was that guy in a way, but he had success. That's the thing. In a way, he was a little bit of the raw guy, but he was innovative with his offense. So I give him a little bit of I give him props for that. So I don't put him necessarily there with Ryan and Dan the Man Campbell and Ray Rhodes. Trying to think of a couple of those raw guys that were. It's just fluff, man. It doesn't last. That burns out really quickly. There's no Mike Tice. Boom. Mike Tice, raw guy. Emotional guy, pencil in the ear, hard-working dude. Good dude. Good offensive line coach, actually, from what I'm told. Wasn't really built to be the head coach. You know? That raw stuff, and we're going to bite ankles, and we're going to run through walls, and we're going to do the Oklahoma drill and all that. These are men, man. These are guys that I know we play the game, and I know you think they're playing a game, but they're playing a business. You know? And their business is help me catch more balls so I can reach incentives. Help me sack more so I can reach incentives. Help me so I can get a bigger contract. Oh, you're not helping me win. You're not good. You know, that's what these guys are thinking. They're bottom line guys. And most of them are not stupid like Antonio Brown. Okay? Finn Family says we should have drafted Herbert. Appreciate the super chat. Thank you. But that's how it goes, my man. No Herbert, so I guess life for you sucks, man. So let's see, what else do we have? I know a lot of you are like that, by the way. That you're missing the quarterback. Okay, there we go. All right. Yes. Okay, I'll get you that second. Anyway, so plenty of things to talk about on the program. Sorry, I had to I'm kind of doing my I'm texting and talking at the same time. That's a challenge for me. Hell, walking and chewing gum is kind of difficult for me too at the same time. That's usually a talent that I don't possess. I'm not that good at when it comes to walking and chewing gum. Let's see. Y'all love Tua so much. Blinded, thinking Watson won't win the game. We lost. Y'all crazy if you think Watson won't work. 9 on any team. He's a top 5 QB. So, okay. So, Little Milk 551. All right. So let's have some fun now. You know, we're going to challenge your intelligence. So if Watson is so good, why did he only win 4 games last year? Why is it that David Mills, the third stringer now from last year, I guess, why is it that he won the same amount of games as Watson? I mean, if Watson is so good, why did he only win 4 games last year? Just wondering. You tell me, my man. What's the explanation? What's the explanation? Little Milk 551. I want to hear the explanation. If Watson is so good, why did he only win 4 games last year? This year, the Texans traded away everybody they possibly could. So they're an even worse team this year than they were last year. I mean, a lot worse. Okay? They're a lot worse this year than last year, and they won the same amount of games that they did last year with Watson. So why? Tell me. I'm waiting for an answer. Big O, you know what kind of team he got in Watson? Lead the league? No. Answer the question. Answer the question, Little Milk 551. Why did he only win 4 games last year? Why is it that a middle round quarterback can win the same amount of games as Watson with a lesser team in the Texans this year? Why? I need an answer very quickly, Little Milk 551. I need an answer really quickly. You better be typing really, really fast. The clock is ticking. A lot of people know what's about to happen. So let's go. What's the answer? Let's give a countdown for everybody for Little Milk. Maybe his last time on the board. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16. Okay, the team is horrible and Watson wasn't enough. But what happened this year? Why is the team worse this year and David Mills won the same amount of games? What's the explanation? Let's go. That team is horrible and Watson wasn't enough. So Watson's going to be enough here. He can't elevate anybody better than David Mills did. What is it? No, but you're not answering it. The team is horrible and Watson wasn't enough. So David Mills is just as good as Watson then, right? So it doesn't really matter what the quarterback is. If you don't have a team and you don't have a coach, it doesn't matter. Do you understand that? Huh? Do you understand that? Come on, man. That's the problem. You guys run your mouth, and then you don't know what the hell you're talking about. So you get ghosted now, just because I want to have some fun. So there you go, Little Milk. Maybe you'll learn about football one day, my brother. As I said, the great Dan Marino didn't win jack crap because he didn't have a defense and he didn't have a running game. Had nothing to do with anything else. If he had Jim Kelly's team, he would have gone to the 4 Super Bowls. Maybe he wins one that Jim doesn't. But it's not because Jim Kelly was way better than Dan Marino. He was more athletic than Dan Marino, but he wasn't a better quarterback. Neither was Joe Montana. But Joe Montana did not have Roger Craig. He did not have all pros on the offensive line like Joe Montana did. And he didn't have a defense like Joe Montana did. That's the difference. Learn football, dude. If you don't have a coaching staff, how's your quarterback going to survive? If you have no QB coach, if you have no offensive line coach, if you have 3 clowns playing offensive coordinator and arguing before the play, and then you have 4 young linemen and Jesse Davis and no running game, what QB succeeds here? That's why anybody that tells me that Watson would be any better, you're nuts. We don't even know if Watson makes it through a season, because any quarterback that makes it through a season with this line is a miracle. But if people like Little Milk can't understand that it's a team game, it doesn't matter. You can be a great quarterback like Marino and do nothing. One of my guys from Twitter, O'Shea, I even remember his name because he's always been on Twitter. He goes, well, Marino was able to mask and this and that. And I told him Bob Greasy had half the talent that Marino has. And do you know, did Bob Greasy have to mask anything? No. Do you know why Bob Greasy didn't have to mask anything? Because he had 3 running backs, not one, not 2, but 3. He had an all-pro, all-world offensive line, and he had a defense called the no-name defense. And then he had a guy named Don Shula on the sidelines. So Bob Greasy didn't have to mask anything. So when my boy O'Shea goes to me, well, no, we need a guy to mask this, that. Well, then what did it get you? What does it get you that Marino masked this, masked that? You didn't win anything. But I'll take Bob Greasy, who has half the talent of Marino, and I'll win a couple of Super Bowls because he doesn't have to mask anything because it's a team. It's a coaching staff. But people like Little Milk and some of you out there, you're a bunch of idiots and you don't know the game. And all you do is play fantasy football and you don't play reality football. So you haven't realized that the quarterback you want to trade for hasn't won anything in Houston. Hasn't accomplished anything in Houston. And it's not because of him. I'm not blaming Watson. I'm just telling you, if the environment's not there, you're not going to win it. And who tells you the environment's here? Who says they've got the coaching staff? Who says they've got the offensive line? Who says they've got the running backs? By the way, who says they've got the defense? They're not proven either. I think we just had the conversation that you've got to prove yourself first, right? You can't get run over by Donta Freeman and say you're a good defense, correct? That they don't go together. Learn the game, guys. Some of you out there, you need to learn what football is all about. And it's the ultimate team game. You just can't get Carmelo Anthony to carry the Syracuse Orangemen to the championship. That's just not the way it's played. And Joe Montana doesn't carry you alone, and neither does Tom Brady, and no one else carries you alone. You're going to need a coaching staff. You're going to need a special teams unit. You're going to need a defense. You're going to need an offensive line. You got to have these elements to have success. So I love how let's trade for Watson, but Watson's kind of been in the same situation. He doesn't win anything anyway because he doesn't have the environment around him. So all of a sudden you want to bring Watson here to a team that has no offensive line. And then the other dumbass thing that comes from that comment is you also don't take the cap into effect. So now you got to pay him $40 million. So he's going to take up a chunk of your cap. And now you're going to all trade your picks. So you're going to have less resources to put around them when you don't have the resources initially. It's not like you're trading Watson to a team that has an offensive line and a running game and a great coaching staff and a proven defense. None of that exists. You have a defense that has potential, but it's not proven. It's the other P, not the one you want to make it sound like. Some of you got to learn football, okay? And you also got to learn something about this show. There's a lot of questions coming in. I can't reach all of them. I can't read them all. But if I do pick you out and you're saying something stupid and I challenge you, be ready for the challenge because it might be the last time that you actually comment on the board. Okay? You know why? Because if you're going to be an idiot now, why am I going to keep taking comments from idiots? I might as well block them out now. That way I don't have to deal with them anymore. You know what I mean? That's the beautiful thing. Having a good defense, David Triana says, means absolutely nothing if you don't have an offense that can put up points. Ask Jason Taylor. You're right. This isn't golf or tennis. It's not an individual sport. You need a lot of help. Dan Marino. Dan Marino didn't get the help. I always love, and Dan gets that heat all the time. Well, he didn't win anything. Well, yeah, I know he didn't win anything because Shula screwed up and he couldn't get the offensive line. I mean, the running game going and the defense going. So they had a decent enough line. They had a decent enough wide receiving core. They had a decent enough quarterback, but that's where it ended. They didn't have the running game or the defense. So it didn't matter what those guys would do if they put up 30, if you're going to allow 34. So it's not that Montana was better or that Kelly was better. No, dude, it's just they were in better situations. Are you going to compare the Dolphin defense to the Buffalo defense? Oh, my God. It's not even close. Like, it's not even nowhere in the same universe. Bruce Smith alone was better than our entire D-line back in those days. Oh, God. I don't even want to think of that defense with Darryl Talley and all those guys. Oh, my God, that defense was nasty. Nasty. No wonder Marino couldn't overcome it. You're one-dimensional. You can only pass. You can't run, and you can't stop anybody. Give me a break, man. Coque Garcia says, Big O, what would you do with the Dolphins receiving players? Drop Parker, Wilson. Thoughts on Fuller? Why? Well, I don't know if Fuller will play again or not. I don't really care. I just would never sign him. No, Parker, Fuller, Wilson, and Preston Williams. They all need to get the hell out of here. You need to just dump all of that. That's it. That's all. If you want to bring back Parker, I might bring back Parker on a minimum deal. That's it. Yeah. Here, Devontae. Here's a $2 million deal, and the rest are incentives. If you stay healthy, you can earn incentives. If you don't stay healthy, we pay you a minimum deal, and you're out of here. I would do that with Parker. I wouldn't bring back Preston Williams. He's completely unreliable. Plus, he likes Dogecoin. Albert Wilson and Will Fuller, please, just leave. Get out of here. But that's it. That's the only thing I would do with that injured bunch. I would give Devontae Parker a minimum deal. So that way he has to stay, healthy. And at least I will say this. When he's healthy, he'll help you out a little bit. Marino had a great O-line. No, he had a good O-line because it was the left side, my brother. Let's go. Let's be honest. Let's be honest now. If it's a great line, you can run and pass block. Raging. Let's be honest now. All right? Let's sit here. When we screw up, we've got to admit that we screwed up. Okay? And we all make mistakes. When we talk about certain things and we talk about the past, no matter how much we love it, we all have to be honest with ourselves. Okay? The line was great by two guys on the left side. It did not make it a great line. And officially, to be labeled a great offensive line, which you're using way too loosely, Ragin, you must be able to run block and pass block. And the Miami Dolphins can only pass block, and they excelled at that because they had the ultimate quarterback who can make a very quick decision and get rid of the football, which assisted that line. So let's be honest with ourselves. If we're going to have an honest party here, and we're going to sit here and we're not going to lie, and we're going to put the things on our fingers, and the detector is going to go on us, and we look at ourselves, no one should ever say that the Miami Dolphins offensive line in front of Dan Marino was great. Okay? Larry Little and Bob Kuchenberg and Langer and that's great, my friend. Let's not get too loose with the term great. Okay? The last time the Dolphins had a great offensive line was in the 1970s. End of story. There's no discussion here. There's no argument. There's no nothing. Okay? So, Ragin, I want to make sure that you understand this, that you're wrong, and that you acknowledge that you're wrong, and that you allowed your heart to get the best of you, because you love those guys. And I love Richmond Webb, and I love Keith Sims, and I know them personally, and I deal with Keith Sims all the time. But they were the only two things great on the line. Nothing else was great. Okay.
He corrected himself a little bit.
Well, he says great to what we have now. Yeah, that's not that. We don't grade on curves here. Okay. No. We don't grade on curves here. Okay. The last time the Miami Dolphins had a great offensive line was in the 1970s. End of story. That's it. Richmond Webb and Keith Sims made up a good line because they could pass protect. That's it. End of story. Okay? When you can punch somebody in the mouth and put them on their ass and run the ball down their throat, or you can hold up for 3-4 seconds and allow your quarterback to scan the field, that's when you have a great line. Go look at the Giants of the 90s. That's a great line. You know what I'm saying? San Francisco, the aforementioned Joe Montana. That's a great line. So Polo and Cross and those guys. Oh, Kimmy Foster. Oh, man. Are you kidding me? I know the Dallas Cowboys of the mid-90s. I know what great offensive lines look like. Let's not throw that word out there like it's, like it means anything, and it's really easy and super easy to accomplish. Rosendo says, good morning, Big O Nation. Thursday is a sign that you already have survived the week and you're almost there for the weekend. Stay calm and make it through smoothly. May you find peace and joy. Thank you, Rosendo. Very nice of you, my man. Ragin says, my heart always gets the best of me. Yeah, it's all of us, bro. Me too, Ragin. But it's my job to sit here and try to be objective about all of this. Not that I'm perfect either. Far from that also. Maybe my heart is getting the best of me with Tua. Who knows? Crypto Dolphin says, and even with the good defense that the Buffalo Bills had back then, they also had 4-win seasons with Jim Kelly on the team. Yeah, but not in the middle of their heyday. That might have been, earlier back in the back end of it, but in the middle of that run, bro, that was nasty. What were you going to say?
Victor Huerta sent in a
he sent a super
chat. Yeah, I missed it, and I had to go way back and find. I think that's the one.
There it is. Thank you, Victor. Little Milk just wants someone who throws 5,000 yards each year and can't win. Yeah, he just doesn't know football. I mean, it's just he play. The problem is, and thank you, Victor, for the super chat. The problem is that we have too many people that play fantasy football. And you just look at the stats and all that, and it's the same crap I got on Twitter yesterday. Oh, well, we need a guy that'll mask. Well, if you got a mask and you're doing a lot of masking, then you're not really a good team. And there's a good chance your quarterback and your team won't end up winning the championship. Look, man, stuff happens at times, but you're going to need – look at the Broncos. They carried Peyton Manning, who couldn't throw more than 10 yards, to a championship. Why? Because they had enough of an offensive line. They definitely had a nasty, nasty defense. And they had a running game. So they didn't need the quarterback to be anything special. And at that time, Peyton Manning didn't even have to be Peyton Manning. How fortunate is that? You know what I'm saying? All right, let's talk about Sloman's Home Security. And we love talking about the folks at Sloman's Home Security. And by the way, big announcement with Sloman's Home Security on our show next week, man. Looking forward to that. That's going to be a lot of fun. New expansion of Sloman's on our program. And folks, right now we are giving away a free doorbell camera. That's right. Sloman's Home Security. First 40 Big O listeners right now who dial 1-800-ALARM-ME will get a limited offer right now of a free doorbell camera that connects directly to your smartphone, and you're going to love it. It's such a convenience to know who's there, who's at the door. Maybe you've got, a family member coming and you're running a little late. You can tell them, hey, hang in there. I'll be there in 2 minutes. Send them a text, talk to them, whatever you want to do. Maybe they're delivering some food. You can say, hey, just leave it there on the side. I'll be there in a couple minutes. You can pick up your food. The Uber driver, whatever it is you use for a food delivery, leaves the food, and you're all fine, baby. And listen, Sloman's, not only are we going to give you the free doorbell camera, but you're going to get a free customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. So you're getting an LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, 3 arm doors, and a backup battery. Plus, if you're one of the first 40 Big O listeners, even Little Milk can call in. 1-800-ALARM-ME. That's 1-800-ALARM-ME. But we got to remind Little Milk that, you need multiple cameras to get it going. Not just one camera gets it done. Not just one QB gets it done. You know what I'm saying? You need team. Little Milk, you need team, and Sloman's is the team. Sloman's, the Sloman Shield, Sloman's home security, baby. 1-800-ALARM-ME.
South Florida's premier law enforcement agency is now hiring individuals like you. The Fort Lauderdale Police Department is now accepting applications for non-certified and certified police officer positions. Minimum requirements and qualifications can be found at flpdjobs.com. That's flpdjobs.com. Are you ready? The city of Fort Lauderdale is an equal opportunity employer.
Oh, I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
When you're ready to purchase a new home loan or refinance the one you have, American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy with fast approvals and quick closings. With many loan programs and competitive rates, now is the time to turn your dreams into reality. Ask about special financing for veterans. They never charge an application fee, and you will work directly with one of their experienced loan professionals. Stop dreaming and contact American Dream Lending today. 786-802-1727 or online at adreamlending.com. When protecting your family is your priority, there's nothing more important than a roof above the people you love. Call Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises.com, 954-735-9826 or 954-394-1411, and ask to speak to Tommy, the owner. They specialize in all kinds of roofs, led by their highly crafted, skilled, and professional roof mechanics. All of their previous customers have an opportunity to enter their bi-weekly drawings to receive free an exterior impact metal door. Please call for more details. That's Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises.com, 954-735-9826 or 954-394-1411. Trust Tommy to fortify and protect what's most important to you, your family. The Big O Radio Show is looking for an experienced salesperson in the radio or TV business. The candidate must have at least 5 years of sales experience in the broadcast business over the last 10 years. Please email your phone number and resume to bigoradioshow@yahoo.com. That's bigoradioshow@yahoo.com. Looking for an aggressive person who can help our platform expand into many avenues in our business. Reach out if you are the person that's able to make a difference. Viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All righty, hour number 2, baby, coming to you live from beautiful Hialeah Park Casino. Yeah, come on out. We're in the second floor poker room. I can see all the folks enjoying themselves. How can you not be enjoying yourselves on a beautiful Thursday morning? You're enjoying there, playing a little cards. watching anything that's on television because they've got screens all over the place. Got the Champions Simulcast Center on the other side. So if you want to wager at any of the tracks all across the country, man, come on. Got we had Santa's Enchanted Forest here. It's still there, right? I think it's still there for a couple more days, right? Or it's gone. I didn't see it. I see it on the way out, not on the way in. Oh, so they're taking it down. Okay, so it's gone now. So, but they had Santa's Enchanted Forest. We got more, and we got boxing on the 28th here. Later on this month. I'm looking forward to it. By the way, Louis DeCuba Sr. Joined us earlier in the week to talk a little bit about the amazing boxing event that is going on this Saturday at Hialeah Park, January 28th. And a lot of young, up-and-coming boxers are going to be here. Cuban, Venezuelan, Argentine, Mexican. So come on out, man. Check it out. Lots of fighters. Joanny Argelados, who's 8-0 with four knockouts. Michelle Banquez, Venezuelan, who is 19-1 with 13 knockouts. George Romero, Cuban boxer, 21-0 with 13 knockouts. Ariel Perez de la Torre is 6-0 Cuban boxer with 5 knockouts. Gianni Garcia is 3-1. Orestes Velasquez, a Cuban boxer who's 2-0 with 2 knockouts. So he's taking on Abram Martinez El Colorado, who is 9-0-1 with 7 knockouts. So come on out, man. Check it out on the 28th. Buy your tickets. We'll be out there, by the way, broadcasting live. Out here, broadcasting live, basically. So if you do come on out, come by and say hi to Sean and myself. We will be working hard like we normally do every day here on the program. Let's see. Ridiculous Waddle had a great year, and you're going to complain. Who's complaining? Oh, this is a conversation between you guys, I guess. It's impossible to complain about what's it called? Waddle. Waddle's been absolutely phenomenal, man. Let's see. It's insane. Waddle doesn't have one explosive TD all year. Well, it's not an explosive offense. So how can it be insane? It's hard. It's hard to, really. He did have the one screen that took off down the field, but he didn't score. I get that. I think it went like 50 or 60 yards, but it didn't score. Yeah. This is a terrible offense, man. Terrible coaching, terrible design, terrible setup from play to play. There's no rhyme or reason with what's going on. That's why you see trick plays in the rain last week. Listen, this is not on the players at all. This is all on Flo and his coaching staff. That's what a lot of people don't see. And when you're picking on the players, sometimes if your coaches don't understand how to prepare and how to set your team up, your players aren't going to have success. And that's really the problem with the Miami Dolphins. Did you guys see the coach, Pepe Le Pew? So Omar Kelly, can you pull that up for me, Sean? Omar Kelly is asking Pepe Le Pew about what improvements he's seen from the line this year. Now, I want you to listen to Pepe Le Pew, which is Lem Jean-Pierre is the name. This is a guy that barely has any kind of NFL experience, okay? He was like an assistant for the Raiders and really wasn't in charge of the line or anything like that. And you can tell, this guy might be a good offensive line coach 5-10 years from now. He's a really young guy. I feel bad for him, really, in a way. He reminds me of Ted Ginn. And I don't even know if he'll be as good as Ted Ginn was in his career eventually. But I mean it in this sense. They drafted Ted Ginn at number 9 overall. It's not his fault that the Dolphins overdrafted him, and he was a guy that probably should have been taken late first, second, maybe early third, somewhere in that area. You know what I mean? He would have been like an all right late first round pick, solid second-round pick, really good early third-round pick, right? That's kind of how his career would have shaped up if he would have been drafted. As a number 9 overall, forget about it. It just never met it. Well, you expect this guy to turn down the job? No, he's going to take the job. He's going to give it a go if you got any guts and you want to try. So God bless him. Take the money. Be the guy. See if you can do it. But he can't do it. So that's the problem. It's not his fault that he's in this position. It's Brian Flores' fault that he's in this position. I want you to listen to Omar Kelly ask the question, and I want you to hear the response, the stumbling and a bumbling. Let's listen to Coach Pepe Le Pew.
Omar?
Lem, I wanted to ask you a question about the unit's performance, which has been fairly inconsistent at times. It's somewhat limited the offense in terms of what you've been able to do from a run game standpoint and also from a protection standpoint. Where have you seen the most improvement from this unit so far this season?
Improvement, yeah. Like you're saying, like times it just seems like we gotta keep working on fundamental techniques. And the thing about just being in the trenches in general is that's something that's always gonna be worked on. You know, you want, even if you got an older guy, stuff like that. So the big thing is we gotta keep improving on our consistency, like you're saying, being intentional about everything we're doing, every play, one step at a time. The improvement is, I think, you get to see the mental toughness in these guys and the drive and the finish, things like that. You get to see that in terms of what I see, and in the meeting room, stuff like that. And on the field, I mean, we have to improve on the consistency anyway. But I think in general, like the understanding, the knowledge, those things have been getting better. And then our techniques have been getting better. But like you said, I mean, you said yourself, we must be consistent in this league, especially in the trenches, going against these type of defenses, these athletes up front.
He basically can't even answer the question. I mean, it was stumbling and bumbling. And look, here's the problem with all of this. He's not good enough. And he's not experienced enough to know if they're any good or if they can get better, because he doesn't know how to teach them at this level, because the people he's going up against are smarter than him. And I'm not just talking about the coaches that are going up against Pepe Le Pew. I'm talking about the players that are going up against his players. They're more experienced. They're smarter. They're not more talented. The problem is when you're not prepared, you're not going to be set up for this situation. You know what I'm saying? And that's really eventually the issue going on here with the offensive line with the Miami Dolphins. They just don't have the coaching. And if you don't have the coaching, look, perfect analogy. Most kids, not all, okay, because you have your Dwayne Wades and you have your Alonzo Mournings of the world, right? They didn't have the greatest upbringing, yet somehow or another they ended up being pretty damn good people, right? But more often than not, okay, outside of the freaks like Wade and Zoe, who are freaks, most kids need a foundation, right? I mean, look at the kid that just shot some other people now with a gun at school. His parents basically egged it on. His parents basically bought the gun for him. And that's because the kid ends up being a disaster, because look at the parents. They're a disaster. So if you have poor leadership, then you're going to end up following that. And if you hang out in a bad neighborhood and you're constantly hanging out with bad kids, well, then that's going to end up influencing you in the wrong ways. And you're going to end up, not always, not every kid, okay, but it's going to happen to a lot of kids, right? Those of you that are Latin, your parents used to tell you, dime con quién tú andas, yo te digo quién tú eres, right? Tell me who you hang out with, I'll tell you who you are. That's what that is in Spanish. And so this is the same thing. If you don't have the parents to guide you, your kids are going to be a disaster. If you don't have the right structure in your country, whether it's the president, whether the financial decisions that you make, it's going to be disastrous for your country. That's why the Feds yesterday talked about all the rate hikes and everything going on, and everybody freaked out. And of course, look at all the money you printed. Got to somehow bring it back. If you have poor leadership, your country's going to go to crap, right? Nothing changes. It's all the same. And for 25 years now, the Dolphins cannot find the right leadership. And this is the same thing. And this is why you end up with the teams that you've ended up with Cam Cameron and with Adam Gase and with Sperano and all the other, people that you've had here. And now this guy. And that's what you hire. See, that's the part that you got to understand. This is the best that Pepe Le Pew can do. That's pretty bad. All right, time to talk a little Miami Dolphins football with Joe Shad and the American Dream Lending Miami Dolphins report.
Dolphins fans, buckle up. It's time for the American Dream Lending Miami Dolphins report with Joe Shad. When you're ready to purchase a new home or refinance the one you have, American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy with fast approvals and quick closings. Call them at 786-802-1727 or online at adreamlending.com. Here's Joe Shad with today's edition of the American Dream Lending report.
There he is, Joe Shad. How you doing, baby? You doing all right? You hanging in there?
I'm doing well, Big O.
So, question for you. We played before you came on. We played Pepe Le Pew's response to Omar Kelly on what improvement he's seen from the offensive line, and there was a lot of stumbling and a bumbling there. Your thoughts on the coach? Is he the right guy? Did Flo choose the wrong guy in your eyes?
Well, Big O, Lem Jean-Pierre is a nice guy, and he probably was put in a position that was a little bit more than he was ready for, just based on the results of the Dolphins' offensive line from both the running game and pass protection perspective. It seems clear that Brian Flores miscalculated when he failed to hire an experienced veteran offensive line coach to help a very inexperienced young offensive line. I have a little bit of empathy for Jean-Pierre, who might very well go on to become a very capable offensive line coach in the NFL or in college football, because he's so cautious. He doesn't want to say the wrong thing. He doesn't want to say something that would upset Brian Flores. And so that's why he's so careful with his words. A lot of Dolphins assistant coaches are like that, because I can imagine that Flores is really putting the pressure on them. Hey, don't say anything that can cause a problem with me or our players.
No, I'm with you. Listen, and I kind of said the same thing, that I don't blame him. You know what I mean? It's just, you're going to take the job if it's offered. You're going to take on the challenge. I mean, any of us will take on, those of us that have any kind of confidence in ourselves, we're going to take on challenges, whether we're ready or not. We're still going to be, ballsy enough to do it. So God bless him for taking it on. And it's clear that he is completely out of his element. But then this leads to the question and my concerns all year long, even during the streak, that I've never been impressed with this coaching staff. And I don't know. Well, no, I'm sorry. I do know, because I've watched it for 3 years. I don't think Flo can build a strong coaching staff. So should I feel that way? Should Dolphin fans feel that way? How do you feel about the power that Flo has, or Rolodex, to be able to put together a great staff?
Yeah, I mean, Flores faces one of the challenges that many coaches who coached many years in one place have, and that is, what is the extent of their coaching network? Obviously, the first offensive coordinator hire was Chad O'Shea, who Flores had worked with, and that only lasted 1 year. Then he turns to Chan Gailey, who probably came recommended from Ryan Fitzpatrick. The performance last year was better than the performance this year. I think Flores made a mistake when he failed to choose a coach that he wasn't personally familiar with. He interviewed a bunch of coaches with good reputations and good bad pedigree and didn't offer any of them the position. I'm guessing that Flores didn't feel, well, this is an educated guess, that Flores didn't feel comfortable entirely with those candidates. And a large part of that is, well, I don't know them. And so this is catch-22, but I think that Flores obviously needs to get the next offensive coordinator hire right, assuming that there is a new coordinator next year.
What faith do you, because I have no faith he can get me a good QB coach. He can't get me a good O-line coach. He can't get me a good OC, because I'm not impressed with anything on the offensive line, Joe. That's like, how am I supposed to feel good about that after what I've watched for 3 years now, that he can't, nobody stays either, Joe, and they're all young. Like, normally that's kind of an odd thing, isn't it? Because normally young coaches will seek a few elder coaches because they want that experience, guys they can lean on, guys that can help them. It almost seems like there's an ego thing in the way there, that he doesn't want a lot of difference of opinions.
Well, we're going to see what happens at the Senior Bowl. That's where a lot of coaching communication occurs, and I don't know if Brian Flores is going to go to the Senior Bowl.
Why? Why would you say that?
Well, I did not go to last year's Senior Bowl. Did you? Do you know if Brian Flores
I
coached
haven't
in
gone the
last
last
year's
2
Senior
years.
Bowl?
Yeah, the access has been dog crap, so I have not gone the last 2 years, my brother.
Big O, I think that one of the things is that head coaches are going to the Senior Bowl and the Combine, certainly the Senior Bowl less. But,
Okay.
you know, it used to be where you interview coaches and things like that, so I don't know. But we're going to see what Brian Flores can come up with. You know, listen, I would not be afraid as a young, sharp offensive mind, whether it's from college football or an NFL staff, to come work with Brian Flores, because I think he has the defense figured out. And if you have the confidence in yourself, hey, I'm going to put up enough points, you will win and you will have long-term security. So my point is that I don't think being the Dolphins offensive coordinator, coaching with Brian Flores is a bad gig. I think if you have confidence in yourself and your plan, you will win here. I do think that.
Have you heard that it's tough to get along with him?
I mean, listen, obviously Brian Flores is a demanding coach. He will tell you that he's a demanding coach. He demands a lot of hours. He has a high level of expectation. You know, there are many coaches who are challenging and challenge you.
Have you in covering the team now and digging, has anybody told you in the building that they've had trouble with him, getting along with him? Because that's what I hear, that there are problems in that building, and working for him is a very difficult situation. That's what I'm hearing. So that's why I ask you if you hear the same things.
Yeah, like I said, and I have to move outside at this time.
Got a lot of
I
echo.
hope the internet connection stays.
Oh, you're in a stairwell. That's why. Okay. All right. No, you're mute. Oh, there we go.
I have to wrap up here in a couple of minutes, but what I was saying is, thank you. What I was saying is that, yeah, obviously he's a demanding guy. And every coach is going to have to sort through what they think, what situation they want to go into.
All right. When you start to look at changes, where do you anticipate changes being made this offseason?
Yeah, listen, next week is going to be interesting. We're going to obviously find out in the coming weeks whether or not there are massive changes on the coaching staff, whether there are any changes in the front office. Thank you. Whether are any folks reassigned or any folks let go. Obviously, you would expect changes to the offensive coaching staff, and obviously there's going to have to be a large change in offensive personnel relative to the players on the roster. They're going to have to go out and identify in free agency in the draft which offensive linemen they need to add, which receivers they need to add, who's finally going to be the solution at the running back position. And most of the questions for me come on the offensive side of the ball. And obviously they're going to have to figure out whether or not they need to revisit the quarterback situation. I think they will.
Okay, so changes. Will we be talking Watson and will we be talking Jim Harbaugh?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it would be a surprise if there was if there was not a change on the offensive coaching staff. Now, it's Brian Flores' decision; it's his staff. Could there be some pressure from other people in the organization to make changes on the offensive coaching staff? Absolutely. How would Flores respond to that? I'm not quite sure, but I think even Flores would have to admit that changes on the offensive coaching staff are in order.
So, what about the Harbaugh stuff? How do you read into all of that? Because, Joe, he took a pay cut last year. So, to me, I don't really think this is about the Dolphins. I think this is him and his agent. Like, yeah, my value is pretty high right now because I won the Big Ten and I beat Ohio State. Let me go get that money back that I gave back to the university or something. I almost get that feeling that that's what it's all about. And I know because of Stephen Ross, people are now running with it and saying, well, will Stephen Ross now want Jim Harbaugh as his head coach? So I ask you now, what do you think about all the Harbaugh talk and where is that headed? And what's your gut tell you what Harbaugh's trying to accomplish?
Yeah, I think that ship has sailed all likelihood relative to the Dolphins, obviously on that path previously. And I don't think you really could make a good argument that Flores, the first year he was here, ought to rebuild in a complete teardown roster.
You broke up. You're breaking up badly there. You're breaking up badly there.
The Dolphins have some things that they need to fix, especially on offense. But I don't sense at all to move on from Brian Flores. Jim Harbaugh is a good football coach, but you want to talk about difficult to work with. I've heard this guy, from a player and coaching perspective, is more difficult to work with than Flores.
Yeah, I'm with you, dude. I think this is all just to get more money. I think John Harbaugh is built for men. I think Jim Harbaugh is built for kids. That's just me. That's kind of the way I view those brothers, but that's just me. Right? I don't know if you heard me. You got me?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I agree with you. I think that Harbaugh's NFL run, the way it ended, sort of led you to believe that he's not long for any one place, and the Dolphins would prefer to have a coach who's around for a while. No reason Flores can't be that guy.
All right, Joe, we'll talk pregame this Sunday as the Dolphins wrap up the season against the Patriots. My friend, you go do your thing. Appreciate you taking some time.
Thanks, Big O. Good talking to you, buddy.
You got it. There you go. Joe Shad with our American Dream Lending Miami Dolphins reports.
When you're ready to purchase a new home or refinance the one you have, American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy with fast approvals and quick closings. With many loan programs and competitive rates, now is the time to turn your dreams into reality. Ask about special financing for veterans. They never charge an application fee and you will work directly with one of their experienced loan professionals. Stop dreaming and contact American Dream Lending today, 786-802-1727 or online at adreamlending.com.
Right, we're back. We're back. Rick Kyle, I see your comment there. You put if only John Boza was good I think you mean as good as his kids, that would have been awesome. Rick, John Boza was really good. Okay? You talk to the guys that were in the practices with him, and he was blowing stuff up. The problem with John Boza wasn't that he wasn't good, my brother. The problem with John Boza is that he was more injury prone than his sons. That's the way you had to make the comparison, my man. But that's fine, whatever. You know, the typical fan just sees first round, never really panned out. Oh, he's a bust, and yeah, he was a bust, but it wasn't because he couldn't play. Eric Humero couldn't play. Okay, Jackie Shipp couldn't play. You know what I'm saying? But Boza could play. Boza was, they thought he was going to be a monster. Watch him in those practices. The problem is, in those days, knee injuries were not the same, man. So it's not really that he didn't have the skill set. He just didn't have the durability. That's all. That's why he ended up becoming a bust, and that's why it didn't work out. It's because he was injury prone. That's all. But if you talk to the people like I have that were in those practices and around that guy, they thought they had something special there. Hey, look, man, they traded for Hugh Green, right? And we never got to see the real Hugh Green because he got injured. That happens. And in those days, again, you got to have a little more perspective and kind of look at it. But, it's not a fair statement what you said. Dad's problem was his sons are injury prone. Well, the dad was even more injury prone. And that kind of runs in the family, that they have their share of injuries. The lucky thing is that medicine has advanced so much now that you can suffer injuries and come back from the major injuries. Back when John Boza was suffering knee injuries, you weren't really coming back from it the same way. Different world, man. Different world. But not a fair assessment of him. Spider Kane, see, you are correct. Kumaro was a bust. He could not play. John Boza could play. He could play. It's just Hugh Green could play too, man. I thought we were going to get a couple of years of Hugh Green, and we didn't get the Hugh Green that we thought we were going to get. You know what I'm saying? I don't want Harbaugh. I feel like he can't work with Greer. We need experienced OC and a staff they bring in. If Greg Olson's available after Black Monday, that would be a great hire. Laura's got the D right, never brought in a good O staff. Ego can't get in the way of him firing these guys. It will be a career decision for him. Big O, hope we could get a great running back in the offseason. Could help block for Tua. Anthony, you better get an offensive line first. Don't matter what running back you get, dude. Okay? Unless they're going to land Barry Sanders part 2, they better get an offensive line and an offensive line coach first and foremost. They better get an offensive coordinator that knows how to design an offense and call play after play and like a chess game and set teams up and understand their weaknesses and their strengths and play against it. Okay? That's what you've got to do. So until they get some intelligence, some experience, some consistency on the offensive coaching staff, their offensive unit will be offensive for whatever time flow is here. So before you get any running back, fix the damn line. Because you know what happens when you don't fix the offensive line? Saquon Barkley. When your quarterback's not great and your offensive line isn't good and things aren't going well, then Saquon Barkley's the guy that's got to take on the punishment and everything. And look what's happened to Saquon Barkley. So fix that line, dude. Get a great offensive line going. And Tua will be fine. Your running game will be fine. And then get an offensive coordinator that knows how to design everything. And then you can maybe put it all together. Let's see. Richard says, I agree with you. Our coaching staff, but the same coaching staff picked our QB last week. You said Herbert, Pita, massage. But if he wins Sunday, he's in the playoffs and we're watching. It's a team thing, dude. It's not a Herbert thing. It's a team thing. His team is much better. That's all. End of story. It's not Herbert. You guys got to stop with all that. If it's just one guy, then yeah, great. That would be fantastic, but that's not the case. The Chargers have a better team than the Dolphins. The Chargers have a much better coaching staff than the Dolphins. That's what's going on, dude. Has nothing to do with that. Zach Taylor has turned into a better coach than Brian Flores. Let's just call it like we see it. Can't we just do that? Can't we just say what it is? Brian Flores is not a good coach. These players have saved his ass. He doesn't put people in enough positions to be successful. I think I started the show with the whole thing about stop giving people credit when they haven't earned it. And that's what we have to stop doing with Brian Flores. Brian Flores doesn't deserve to come back next year. He doesn't deserve any credit whatsoever. All right? He's the reason why the Miami Dolphin fan and the Miami Dolphin players aren't in the playoffs. He can't build a staff, and he chose to go in a terrible direction with the offensive line. So Brian Flores set himself up for failure. We've talked about this already. It's not one guy, man. Oh, yeah, no, Justin Herbert's good. If Justin Herbert was getting him in there 2 weeks ago when he had a chance to cut it to one score against Houston, he doesn't throw a pick six. You don't do that against the Texans. It's a team thing, but there's no doubt Herbert's a better QB. Zach Taylor's a good coach because of Burrow. Great players make coaches. Staley is viewed as a good coach because of Herbert. I think Herbert is on a good team, period. That's what it is. And they figure it out. And Zach Taylor's a better coach than Flo because he helps his team win. He helps his quarterback win. All right? Flo does not help his team win. He hurts his team. He has a Duke Johnson for 7 rushes for 49 yards last week, and he chooses not to continue to use him. Like, wait a minute, 2 weeks ago, the guy actually got 100 yards. Maybe by some miracle, he can do it again. He's got 7 rushes for 49 yards. You mean it never crossed your mind that maybe you should, like, hand it off to him again? Like the weirdest thing, dude. I mean, Flo is as just screwed up as it gets. The Marino not winning a ring is so annoying. Marino gave you a chance to win any game. He doesn't have a ring because the Bills were a damn juggernaut with Hall of Famers everywhere. And why didn't you get past the Bills? Because you had no defense and you had no running game. Don't blame the Bills. All right? I love Shula, dude, but it's Shula's fault. Okay? Let's blame the blame where it goes. Let's lay the blame where it goes, where it must go. I get it. It's Don. He's the man, and I love him. All that. But Don Shula screwed up the Marino years because he never figured out the defense, and he never figured out the running game. That's why. Don't blame the Bills. How are you going to beat the Bills? By having a better defense. Who's in charge of building that defense? Don Shula. Who's in charge of getting a running back? Don Shula. And I know he tried with Sammy Smith and David Overstreet and Lorenzo Hampton and, whatever, all the different backs that they drafted and tried. I get all of that. But it's up to Shula to complete it. So let's lay the blame where it goes. Don't blame the Bills for doing their job. They built a monster. That was Bill Polian's job. Build a monster. He did it. But Shula had to build the monster to, if you're going to have, what's it called? King Kong, you need Godzilla, right? If you're going to have, what was the name of the turtle that flew around? Whatever the hell it was. I don't know. You need Godzilla, right? You need a big beast for another beast. And that's where Shula failed. He failed miserably to give Marino what he needed in order to win a title and beat Kelly and the Bills. Gamera. There you go, Gamera. If you're going to have a Gamera, you got to have, King Kong. Or you got to have Godzilla in this case. Come on. Well, Higgs was not really like, come on. That was kind of like, oh, well, we'll try this guy now, but it wasn't like a high pick and you were like, you thought that was going to be the guy, Higgy was not. More was Bobby Humphrey, actually. And Bobby got shot. Let's see. Try not to be negative, Big O, but man, I'm worried we're in a bad spot. The staff wrecked the QB and O-line. These kind of mistakes can set a franchise back for years. Nah, Rick, if they make the change now with Flo, they can save it. If they keep Flo for another year, then yeah, that drags on even more and puts a lot of things at risk. We'll see how much they really want to look in the mirror and be honest with themselves. Because if they're honest with themselves, they say, this is not going to get any better. Because it's not going to get any better. Okay, bringing Flo back does not make any sense whatsoever. Just because, he won 7 games. He didn't lose the locker room. I love that cliche. I hear that one all the time. I read it all the time. Well, he didn't lose the locker room. Oh, please. Give me a break, dude. You're 1-7. You lost your team a while back. Okay, your team already knew you weren't a very good coach. They just were busting their ass because they're pros. Because this whole thing about, what's it called? Tanking. That's 1 or 2 guys on a team or maybe in a division that might do that. That's Antonio Brown and stuff like that. Most people will not do that. Most people are going to be pros because their livelihoods depend on playing hard because it's all on tape. So it's not that he kept the team together. Give me a break. I've watched this with other bad coaches. Means nothing whatsoever. It just means that the players are really good. And they're talented enough to win, even overcoming your crappy coaching. And that's what they've done. They've won 8 games overcoming crappy coaching. That tells you that the front office is doing a pretty good job, not the coaching staff. That's the real issue that a lot of people are missing. It's like the same thing with Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh isn't anything special. That San Francisco team was so loaded, that's why they got there. When you're special, you do it all the time. You're in the playoffs all the time. You go to the big game. You go deep into the conference. When you're special, you're that kind of coach. But when you're a fly-by-nighter, yeah, you're in, you're out, whatever, but it's not anything, Harbaugh, Rex Ryan, they're all kind of the same. They had their moment and it was over. That's it. Look at them if you're a great coach, like if you're Saban, right? You go back to college, well, you should go dominate. He can't dominate in the Big Ten. He finally had one good year. And how many of you are expecting him to keep doing that? Not much. Terry Kirby was the best pass-catching RB. Yeah. Kirby and Byers were absolutely fantastic catching the ball out of the backfield. I agree. Let's see. Richard Jacobs says, good coaches never lose 7 straight games unless their team sucks. If you think this team doesn't suck, then you have the wrong coach. Well, you can't win 7 straight, right? So obviously the team doesn't suck. You just have the wrong coach. You are correct. Oh, did you see Tua's press conference yesterday? He's fed up. You can see it in his face. Pretty obvious he ain't coming back, especially if Flores stays. Bet you he requests a trade this offseason. You know, Troy, I'm glad you brought that up because you are 1,000% right about him being fed up. If you watch that, you saw a face that was tired. You saw a face that was tired of the questions. You saw a face that was kind of tired of all the crap that he's had to deal with behind the scenes, crappy coaching, crappy preparation. Remember, he had superior coaching at Alabama. So for him, when he sees this, he knows that he's not in a good place. But I don't think he's going to request a trade. I don't. Although, I'll tell you this. I wouldn't be surprised if Lee Steinberg wants him to request. Now, Lee obviously has to do what his client wants, and I don't think Tua is going to want to go in that direction and stir it up that way. But man, Lee Steinberg knows enough about this business that he knows that his quarterback is in a terrible situation right now with that coaching staff. And I'm sure Lee Steinberg has called Chris Grier, and they've had that conversation about Flo and his coaching staff. And Chris Grier has had to sit there and try to defend Flo. Again, I'll say it over and over again. Chris Grier, Marvin Allen, Reggie McKenzie, if you guys are watching or listening to this show, or anybody that knows them, I am huge fans of all three of you. I think the Miami Dolphins have a fantastic front office. I think all three of you can do a lot of great things for the Dolphins for years to come. But all three of you will be gone next season if you bring back Flo. I've watched this story before. I've already watched Flo for 3 years. I already know he can't build a staff. I already know he can't get along with people. I know people in that building have a hard time getting along with him. I've seen enough. I know what's going to happen when you bring him back. There'll be failure again, and that frustration will lead the owner to clean house. And we're going to do what we've done for 25 years. We're going to get rid of the personnel, and we're going to get rid of the coach. And the personnel guys are going to go back and have success with other people, and the head coach won't ever have success anywhere else, because that's been the history of the Miami Dolphins the last 25 years. Their personnel people leave to have success. The head coaches never succeed anywhere else as a head coach. And we've been repeating the same mistakes over and over again. We've kept Sperano and Parcells around too long. We've kept Philbin around too long. We kept Wanstead around too long. We kept Gase around too long. And then we have fired everybody, Spielman and Wanstead, when you only had to fire Wanstead. We fired Ireland and everybody else when you only had to fire Philbin and Sperano and Parcells and kept Ireland. We fired Hickey and everybody else when you should have just kept Hickey. All three guys are excelling in personnel with other teams. Okay? We're going to do the same thing over and over again, and that is called insanity, ladies and gentlemen. Insanity is bringing Brian Flores back and expecting that he actually will give you a different result. There we go. You keep complaining about Flo and the praising the front office. Front office has taken blame for investing many picks on the O-line with player of a real future is Hunt. There are no great ones you say. Yeah, but Rob, you hit on all the other players. You're hitting on all the draft picks. And the offensive line, have some common sense. Do you think Hunt really is the only good guy, or he's just good enough to show up in a terrible situation? They might have another one or two guys there that are pretty good with a real offensive line coach and a real offensive coordinator. Those things would change everything. And maybe you have another one or two. So out of those 5 guys, there's still a possibility that 2 or 3 of those guys are successful. And that would mean you're successful. But most of all, the other picks are hitting. The only 2 picks that aren't playing are Noah and Hunter, and that's because they got people in front of them. So that you can't be selective with your criticism when they're hitting on all the other picks. And then you look at the offensive line, and there's a common denominator to it. The offensive line coach. Come on, man. Use some common sense, guys. I mean, you have watched Billy Turner leave and play several years, correct? The linemen have left that didn't look good here, and they went to at least help out other teams for several years and played better than here. So it's not the first time. I wouldn't be surprised if you cut all 5 of those linemen. I bet you 2 or 3 will find homes in other places and become solid players or maybe even really good players. Who knows? But you'll never find out with that O-line coach, ever. Red Horse Adventure says, so let's say Miami moves on to another coach. Who would be on your short list and why? Dude, I've already said this over and over again. Jack Del Rio, a Jim Caldwell type. I want an old coach. I want a guy that's been around the league a bunch, has worked for several teams, has got a Rolodex that can build one staff and then another staff and another staff. That's what you need from your coach. As I've given the example, will any of Brian Flores' coaches get elevated to another team for another position? Will a linebackers coach from Brian Flores get elevated to defensive coordinator anywhere? Would a wide receivers coach for Brian Flores or the running backs coach or the O-line coach become the offensive coordinator for somebody? Better yet, will the offensive coordinator or defensive coordinators for Brian Flores, will they get elevated to be a head coach? Well, Mike Vrabel, his offensive coordinator, became the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons. And then now he had to go replace him. And guess what? He's got double-digit wins, and he's in the playoffs. That's Mike Vrabel. That's a real coach. Right? So it's Belichick with McDaniels, Charlie Weiss, it's Romeo Crennel, it's Matt Patricia, it's Dean Pease, it's Bill O'Brien. You get what I'm saying? So when you're a really good coach, part of it is that you've got to replace your good coaches with other good coaches. So Brian Flores can't even get initially good coaches. So how do you expect him to replace them with other good coaches? Just think about that. That's all. That's what a good coach has to do. They have to change coaches constantly. And if you're Andy Reid, well, then you're going to have Peterson and Nagy and Bieniemy and missing one other one, Reich, right? I think all of those guys were QB coaches, offensive coordinators for him, all that kind of stuff, right? And he's the offensive mind. But yeah, wow, some of his coaches are all over the place. It's kind of part of the game, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're Bill Walsh, yeah, you're going to have, let's see, you're going to have the Cincinnati coach, Sam Weish, Dennis Green, Mike Holmgren, Mariucci. I might be missing another one I can remember. But I mean, did I give you enough already as it is? I mean, did I give you an idea? You understand what I'm saying? Learn the game. Learn the history of the game. Understand what these coaches have to do. Brian Flores can't achieve any of that. Just watch it, man. The good coaches have to go out and replace their good assistants with more good assistants. can't do that. Can't get it done. What do I read? What are you laughing at? Huh? What are you laughing at?
I just saw a comment from
Which one?
EJA 30.
Yeah. Why does Flo get the blame
Nope.
for bad players and
Nope,
Greer? No,
not that one.
Which one?
Greer is the only guy that's been here for 15 years, yet somehow escapes the blame from Big O.
God. Bro, when was Greer in charge? For the last 12 years, when was he in charge? I mean, it's a statement that just, you know what, bro? Just, it's just stupidity is just, it just, how do you blame somebody that's not in charge? Why? Because he's black, dude? Is that what it is? Because I've never heard of that. This is the only time in the history of football that I've heard somebody get blamed when they're not in charge. And somehow or another, I got to look at Chris Greer and go, maybe it's the black thing. Maybe this is a racist thing. Because I've never heard of that in my life. And yet this happens, this stupid, idiotic statement comes out every time. Do you think Chris Greer was pulling the strings for Jeff Ireland? Is that what you're saying? So he was pulling the strings for Jeff Ireland. He was telling Joe Philbin who to cut. He was telling Sperano who to sign. Chris Greer was telling Parcells who to draft, right? No, because of course, Chris Greer is going to tell Saban and Parcells what to do. And that EJA guy, I know you watch and listen all the time, but I'm just not tolerating stupidity and ignorance, bro. I just don't. My life, I'm 55 at this point. I get to a point where I just don't take a lot of shit. And I dish it out more than anything else. Because it's just when there's stupidity and there's ignorance, I'm not dealing with it, bro. I'm not dealing with it. This moron and other morons, you actually think Chris Greer is going to be telling Bill Parcells what to do. So you guys make it sound like he's been behind the scenes for 15, I think it's 16 or 17 years that he's been here. So he's been 16 or 17 years here making all the decisions. So all of a sudden, the last 3 years, he finally told them to elevate him to GM. Since I've been Mr. Henson running the puppets here for all this time, I might as well now, really, forget the strings. Let me just do it myself. Do you know how stupid that sounds? And I've never heard this with anybody else that's gotten elevated. And this is not the first time that somebody gets elevated from inside a team. But I've never heard that they blame one guy when he wasn't in charge. And then when I see that the guy happens to be black, and I never see it happen with anybody else of the other color, I have to scratch my head and say, why does this happen? And I hate to use a race card, but I got to think. It makes me think. How do you blame someone that wasn't in charge? Think about that. These idiots actually think that Chris Greer was telling Nick Saban what to do. He was telling Bill Parcells what to do. He was telling Adam Gase what to do. Adam Gase. I mean, these are just things that this is the kind of thinking we have in this country that there's no arguments with it. It's just ignorance that you just got to cast it aside. Why even deal with it? And that's why you get blocked. Why am I going to tolerate stupidity? Yes, Paul, I'm 55. All right. All right. Is my man Eves ready to go? All right. I love it. All right. Let's get hour number 3 ready. Give me 30 seconds here. And let's have some fun. Let's rock out. Let's start hour number 3 here from Hialeah Park Casino.
When you're ready to purchase a new home or refinance the one you have, American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy with fast approvals and quick closings. With many loan programs and competitive rates, now is the time to turn your dreams into reality. Ask about special financing for veterans. They never charge an application fee and you will work directly with one of their experienced loan professionals. Stop dreaming and contact American Dream Lending today. 786-802-1727 or online at adreamlending.com. Viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All right. There he is, Eves. By the way, before I go to Eves here, George, before your question disappears, because there's a lot of people on the chat board, it says, Big O not blaming Greer here, but why would he give Flo, who's a first-time coach, so much power when he's firsthand in the organization as a scout? What usually happens when that's done? George, that's how you blame Greer. That's exactly where you blame Greer. They did this with Gase. They gave Gase too much power, and then he was eliminating players when they didn't want to eliminate certain players because he couldn't get along with them, and that's happened. That's where Chris Greer has screwed up. That's where I can honestly say, and I would tell him straight to his face, you screwed up, dude. You gave Flo too much power. He's a young coach. He doesn't deserve power. They got to stop giving young, unproven coaches power, and that's the problem. That's why I'm saying if Chris Greer and Marvin Allen and Reggie McKenzie want to save their asses next year, better fire Flo now and get a new coach. If they bring back Flo next year, everyone will get fired. I've seen this story before. All right, Eves. How you doing, my man? How you feeling? You looking good.
I'm doing good, Big O. How about yourself? Feeling refreshed, fresh off of vacation.
You look it. You look good. You look good, bro. Where'd you go for the vacation?
Thank you. Oh, went out to Tennessee, to the mountains, took the family out there, spent Christmas, enjoyed some peace and quiet up high, very high up on top of the mountain, away from everybody.
Nice. Tennessee's a nice place, man. So that's good. I haven't been to Nashville. I've driven through Tennessee, but I haven't stopped at Nashville. I've been dying to go to Nashville, man. Hopefully one day I'll be able to hang out in Nashville. Were you close to Nashville?
We're a couple hours away. We're right outside of Gatlinburg.
Okay.
Right outside of the Smoky Mountain Park, so about 45 minutes south of there.
Right.
But
That's
we didn't get a chance to go to Nashville. We had all the kids with us. We gotta take a trip out to Nashville with no kids. That's what.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you should go in that badass motorcycle of yours to Nashville. Like you got that. That would be the way to go, dude. To cruise Main Street in that beautiful thing you got, boy.
Pull it up in a corner and just start banging some country music. I'm sure she'll draw some attention.
Oh yeah. I'm with you there, man. All right, so we wrap up the season this week, unfortunately, with the Dolphins, my brother. But the good thing, Eves, that the Miami Heat and the Florida Panthers aren't going to let us down, because that's the real talent this year in South Florida sports. So we're going to have some good winter sports at least.
Yes, we'll have some good winter sports, and it's obviously it's not the best feeling that we're ending the season here this week, the Dolphins. But on a high note, I mean, we're definitely ending a lot better than where we started. I mean, who would have thought a 7-game lose streak followed by a 7-game win streak? I know a lot of hearts were broken last week when we were out there playing against the Titans at Pallet Hill, but at the end of the day, to come back from 7 losses and put 7 wins up, I mean, it really shows the true grit and determination of our players on the team to go out there and get some wins for us.
You know, I was just thinking, you were in Tennessee, and you're kind of a lucky charm. We really kind of needed you at the stadium this week. I mean, maybe if he
I was back in Miami when the game. No, I was back in Miami when we played them. I was back here. I wasn't up there.
Next year, I'm shipping your ass to Tennessee if we have to go to Tennessee. Okay, so we can win because you're kind of a lucky charm. Okay, because
I mean,
you were there for Baltimore, bro. I mean, you know that's
what kickstarted it. That's what kickstarted the win streak.
I'm saying that's what I'm saying, dog. You brought the juice, so that's why I look at that and I say, damn, bro. If we could have gotten Eves over in Tennessee, maybe we got a shot. Maybe we could get it done, man. Eve, so talk to us a little bit. The Feds made some announcements yesterday, and rates might be going up and all that good stuff. So
rates have already gone up. Market has already reacted to what's happening in the future. Interest rates have gone up.
Okay. So
that's just the fact of the matter.
And so this leads me to my point. If people are thinking about refinancing, they've got to
wait any longer.
Exactly.
Don't wait any longer.
Right.
You need to get started ASAP. We need to lock your rate or get your rate locked as soon as possible because rates have gone up. They've gone up steadily over the past couple months. They're going to continue to go up. Good news is, at the end of the day, interest rates are still at historic lows.
Right.
When you look back over the past 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, we're still at the lowest interest rate period that we've ever been in the history of this great country. So take advantage.
If they can call you, my brother, okay, talk to us a little bit about what kind of rates right now we're looking at so people can take advantage and hopefully get it done.
Well, right now, rates on 30-year mortgages are hovering in the low to mid 3% range. 15 and 20 years, you can still lock in a rate in the 2% range. So if you're looking to shorten your term of that shorter term mortgage, you will get a sub 3% interest rate. But right now, with the amount of people that have bought houses in the past year, 2, 3, 4 years, what we've been able to do, even with a tad higher interest rates, is due to the equity buildup. We're helping a lot of people remove mortgage insurance from their mortgage, which in some cases could be hundreds of dollars per month.
Right.
Couple that with the amount of equity you gain. We have borrowers and clients of ours where we're able to drop their mortgage payment by $100, $200 a month and still get them $20, $30, $40, $50,000 cash. Allows them to skip a couple payments, really get the year started out on a positive note, and get rid of that mortgage insurance that's really not doing anything for you.
Right. Yeah, no doubt, folks. So if you have a chance now, maybe your rate's a little high and you still have an opportunity and you've been thinking about it, do not waste any time. Eves is ready to go. All right. And listen, he's licensed in 47 states. So it's not just the folks here in South Florida, all throughout Florida, other states. We got listeners all across the country calling him, even all the way from Hawaii. 305-992-5218. Save it on that cell phone. 305-992-5218 so you can lock it down. If you're thinking of moving, if you're thinking of buying, if you're thinking of moving to another city, obviously you can help them out, right?
We can definitely help them out, whatever they're looking to do, or maybe they just want a mortgage checkup to take a look at where they're at and make sure that they're in the best position, which we're definitely happy to oblige, and just look over your interest rate, look over your current mortgage, look at the equity you have, look at the debt you have, come up with some opinions that, there's plenty of times we may say, hey, look, you're in a perfect position right now. Just keep doing what you're doing. Make a couple extra payments if you can, so you can cut down the term of the mortgage. And if you need anything else, give us a shout. We'll be here. But the name of the game right now with the amount of equity is cash out.
That's right.
Everybody's looking to access equity, whether they're looking to reinvest, pay some debt, home improvement, build that pool, whatever it may be. Everybody is taking advantage of pent-up equity in their home, and they're able to do things that they were not able to do in the past. we'll be glad to help them out and making those dreams come true as well.
American Dream Lending. The website is adreamlending.com. Call Eves right now, or call him later when you're off work at 5 o'clock and you're in traffic, and you the perfect time to call Eves when you're in traffic.
Give me a call.
305-992-5218. That's 305-992-5218. Go to adreamlending.com to find out more. Eves, as always, I appreciate you, my brother. Thank you.
Thank you, Big O. Have a good one. All the Dolphins fans out there, let's get this last win against the Patriots. Come out ending the season strong. Hey, we can do it. We did it already.
Beautiful. Thank you, my brother. There you go. Eve Sham, baby. American Dream Lending.
When you're ready to purchase a new home or refinance the one you have, American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy with fast approvals and quick closings. With many loan programs and competitive rates, now is the time to turn your dreams into reality. Ask about special financing for veterans. They never charge an application fee, and you will work directly with one of their experienced loan professionals. Stop dreaming and contact American Dream Lending today. 786-802-1727 or online at adreamlending.com.
All right, we're back. By the way, for those of you, because I'm seeing some crap here about block for an opinion, this ain't China. Dude, I didn't block for no opinion. I blocked for stupidity and ignorance. That's all it is. Here, I'll give you, let's see, who is it? Thomas Jensen, right? Where are you, Thomas? Thomas and I never agree on Tua. That's an opinion. But is Thomas here spewing stupid crap? No. Is he constantly insulting me? No. He's not here trolling. So if you want to troll, fine. And if you want to be stupid, I don't have time for this, bro. I just don't. Sorry. I'm not tolerating stupidity. And when somebody's blaming Chris Greer for something that he wasn't in charge of 10 years ago, because he's been here 15 years, it's the dumbest thing. It sounds racist. Because are you really that stupid to believe that? Seriously, are you that freaking stupid to believe that Chris Greer was in charge 5, 10, 15 years ago? So I'm not tolerating stupidity. Has nothing to do with a difference of opinion, has nothing to do with any of that. But if you're going to be insulting constantly, if you're going to be trolling, or if you're just going to be spewing stupid stuff because you have no common sense, yeah, you'll get blocked. I don't need it. Are we clear on that? Do we understand ourselves? I don't need it. That's it. Simple. I don't think I have trouble speaking the English language. I don't think I'm very hard to understand. I think I'm pretty easy to understand. Okay? You want to spew Facebook stupid ass facts? Go to Facebook, man. Go somewhere else. But if you want to, actually have a discussion and talk about stuff that's logical and intelligent, that's fine. But if you want to start coming up with crap, no, dude, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Block the stupidity and trolls. That's exactly what we do here. That's all. It's not your right to be on the chat board. You do know that, right? It's not your right. Understand that. So for those of you that want to troll and you want to be smart ass and all that, and then you get blocked, it's not your right to be here. So you want to be decent human being with everybody else? That's great. You want to be an idiot? Block you right away and we'll get rid of you. We don't need you. Everybody else on the board doesn't need you. Old Joel Vargas comes on every day and feels compelled to be Yoko Ono on the chats. Well, it is what it is. Eventually you're going to get crushed here. Ragin says, I've worked at a few places where somebody had a title and a paycheck, but no power at all. Yeah. Thanks for the guy Benjamin reference yesterday. Stanford QB drafted in the second round, the late 70s to pressure Greasy and Strock. Yep. Number 7? Was he number 7? Guy Benjamin? I don't know. I want to say number 7 if I remember correctly. Gatlinburg is the Cuban mountain Riviera. Really? A lot of Latins go to Gatlinburg? Is that what you're saying? I had no idea. Ken Sean says, Big O crypto update. Notice Bitcoin's still down. It's now 33% retractment on the Fibonacci, 50% to go. I'm buying Solana, Polygon, Metaverse tokens as the X-Gen play. I make money. Big O radio show. Exactly. This is what we talked about. I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before. This is an accumulation time for you. Okay? There's the new, what is it? Fluocron or whatever the hell it is. It's the new virus that's out there, that it's the new that it's a combination of the flu and the COVID or whatever. I forgot what they're calling it. So obviously the market took a shot, and then the Feds talked yesterday, and everything, futures, everything, stock market, crypto, everything took a bit of a dive yesterday, and I smiled. You know what I mean? Because see, I'm not worried about trying to make money next month. I don't really care about it right now. This is for a year or 2, 3 years, 4 years down the line is when I'm worried about it. That's when I expect to then really enjoy the profits and take it out and all that kind of stuff. What I'm doing now is just accumulation and let it sit, let it wait, because I know where it's going to go eventually. So I'm not worried about it. You know what I mean? It's not something that's going to disappear. Amazon's not disappearing. Neither is Tesla. You know what I mean? And neither is Ethereum, and neither is Cardano, and neither is Bitcoin, and so neither is Polygon. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not sitting here worried about that stuff. So if you want to give me another dip, then I'm good. I'll wait for the dips. I'll buy the dips. I'll sit. I'll wait. Oh, you want Bitcoin dropping? Good. I'll take a little Bitcoin, and then I'll stake it. And I keep telling you all this. You know, OKCoin has a lot of great staking. Crypto.com has a lot of great staking. There's places that you can go and you can buy your coin and then stake it. And so you have interest coming in. So while it's trading sideways, you still are making money. And I've been trying to teach some of you all that. And I'm not a financial advisor, but I'm just saying, do not take this as something that it's a serious threat to anything. This is just a blip in the screen, and eventually all of these certain, if you're in the right coins, they're all going to soar, and they're all going to pay off for you. But it's not about this week or next month. That's why, interesting part about crypto, you had a lot of people that were talking about how we're in this cycle now, that it was going to end in December or early January, they thought. Well, guess what? We never hit. And one of the things that I'm hearing people talk about now, which if you've been listening to me for a while, I told you last year, sometime easily in May or June, something like that, that I told you at one point, there's going to be a separation of church and state. Bitcoin's not going to run the crypto market anymore. That when Bitcoin runs, everything else runs. No. Ethereum's going to go on its own. Polygon's going to go on its own. Binance is going to go on its own. Solana is going to go on its own. Avalanche is going to go on its own, because they're all great companies on their own. They're not going to be dependent on Bitcoin down the line. That's why you're watching that the Bitcoin dominance in the crypto market has gotten smaller. The Ethereum dominance has grown, and the altcoin dominance is growing. And that's because the market is growing. And the fluctuations that you had in the past that people talk about, that's because retail dominated crypto. You and me, we don't dominate it anymore. Now it's the financial institutions. Now it's the whales. They're the ones that own the majority of crypto, like they own the majority of stocks. So they're driving the market. And the fluctuations that you see now and the panic doesn't come from the people that know, doesn't come from the people that own a lot of crypto, a lot of stocks. Doesn't come from those people. They're calm, cool, and collective. They're staying the course because they know how it pays off in the long run. But if you don't have a long-term vision on it and you're thinking short-term, instant growth, instant richness, all that stuff, you're just going to get burned and get frustrated with all of this. I saw the dip yesterday and I smiled. And I said, "Oh, so you want to give me Bitcoin at 42? Well, thank you. I'll take some. Appreciate you. I'll take some, and then I'll stake it at 6.5%. Like yesterday, I had some Bitcoin come in. It was only a couple bucks. It was like $7 or $8 of interest that came in from my staking of Bitcoin, right? And all of it came in at like 43,000. So when it soars back up again, even the interest that I'm getting is going to be worth a lot more down the line. That $7 or $8 is going to turn to a lot more. So, but these are things that you have to kind of understand. And you, again, as I've told you, you've got to be patient. You've got to be patient. Polkadot will go. VeChain will go. But you've got to hang in there. And you just got to stay with it. So you're good. Let's see, what else do we have here? Jihad Williams says RB need to block gain yards so defense does not know if we're going to run or pass. We need offense. Yes, they do. Beathard was 50 years ago. Yes, he was. Yes. Put all your money in Atari and MySpace. You can't lose. And Enron. Come on, Sean, block this fool. Who are they asking you to block now? Who? Joel Vargas. Why? What's Vargas doing? Is Vargas being a jerk or something? What's he doing? I don't know. I haven't seen it. Let me see. Is he salty or something? What's going on with Joel Vargas on the chat board? I don't see any Joel Vargas here. Oh, he got blocked? I don't see any Joel Vargas here. I don't see any Joel Vargas here. Maybe he dropped out himself. I don't know. Well, I don't see any right there. Huh? I think Flo had an influence in the thriving draft picks on defense, especially seeing his reaction after they picked Holland and Raekwon. Maybe. You never know. You never know. On the draft pick side, I'm not so sure about what he picked or he didn't pick. You know what I mean? I know one thing. He doesn't like Tua. Never liked Tua. Didn't want Tua from the get-go. That I can tell you that he wasn't a Tua fan. That I know for a fact. But I don't know about any of the draft picks necessarily, but I do know about the free agents. And they're pretty obvious. So those are the free agent decisions I do know about, but not the draft picks. I'm not specifically sure. I know. See, when you say Holland, that's where you and I are going to disagree because he's been picking DBs for a few years now, and they've been doing well on that even before Flo. So there might have been an influence from them. You got something for me?
Joel Vargas said Miami hit on all those draft picks last year because Flores coached Senior Bowl. He's a smart man.
Oh, okay. All right. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. He can believe that. Maybe Vargas is a big Flo fan. I don't know. There's nothing wrong with that. What's wrong with that? Why would you people want me to block Joel Vargas for that? Guys, there's nothing wrong with that. Let's see. Oh, Joel Vargas keeps calling you small O. Oh. Oh, okay. Well, then he did get blocked. Okay. If he's like continuing, yeah, that's probably if it was something that was habitual, he probably got blocked. Yeah.
Small O, call people names and you praise the man. Remember, I'm stupid. I'm learning from the best.
There you go. Chris Greer was in the background the whole time, petting his hairless cat and laughing. The effects of hot take sports journalism. So true. So true. So true. By the way, we will be at Sports Grill, 2:25. Our pregame show will start. Just lovely, huh? They handed us the last game of the year. It had to be a 4:25. Not just 4, but it was 4:25. That is awesome. Yeah. Yeah. So 2:25 will start our pregame show at Sports Grill on Bird Road, our final one of the year for football. Now, we are going to plan some heat watch parties and things like that with Sports Grill. That won't be the last thing that we're going to do. And we've got some other things planned. I can't tell you right now what it is, but we planning some stuff. We're going to expand if everything goes well, by the way. And we are meeting with several sponsors over the next couple of days. And by the way, if any sponsors want to be a part of our program, you can reach out to us on Twitter at Big O Show, on our email at bigoRadioshow@yahoo.com. Many ways to reach out for us and join our program and our growing platform. Vaughn954 says the fact that the majority of this fan base doesn't get what O is saying about Flo is mind-boggling. The writing is on the wall. Look at the patterns since he's been here. The problem, Vaughn, and you understand what I'm saying, but the problem is we have prisoners of the moment. And they get caught up in all this BS about the 7-game winning streak. And, you hear Flo kept the team together. And they don't, behind the scenes, it's like half those guys can't stand that guy. It's crazy, man. But that's fine. Whatever. I mean, when you see that you can hire coaches for 3 years, like what makes you think you're going to get it right in year 4? Like, I don't know how that makes any sense. Going to Maryland to practice for bad weather. Might want to try Buffalo instead. I don't know what that means, Raging. Let's see. The Red Horse Adventure says, after Flo gets fired, he's coming for you, the Big Flo Show. Can he sell? I need a salesperson. We need 1 or 2 salespeople. Is he experienced in radio and TV sales, Flo? I'd gladly, maybe Flo. No, would you guys really want Flo to do a talk show? My God, the ums and the
Big O, what I'd like to talk about is that's all I got to say.
That would be bad. Can you imagine Flo doing a talk show? Oh my God, that would be boring. But it would be the cure for insomnia. That's the good thing. You record it and then you have trouble sleeping. Hey, play Flo's show, and you're within like 2 minutes you're fast asleep. So actually, Flo might be the show. That was good, Super Boom Shack. The show. I love it. Troy says, Tua wants to practice in cold weather location to help his grip and throwing techniques. I'm with you. It's weird. Like, he didn't do it last week. I mean, like I told you guys, Dave Wanstead would bring out a bucket of water and dunk the footballs in there and make the quarterbacks play with a wet ball, even if it wasn't raining. And then sometimes when it would rain, he would say, "All right, no, let's stay out here, guys. We're going to face the weather at times. Let's get it used to it. He was smart enough to do that. And Gesicki said they had no plan for the weather. Wow. With Gesicki saying that they had no plan for the weather, and Wilkins to say that Tennessee figured them out. What more do you need? I just like there's a part of me like I just find me the white flag. I'm just gonna wave it as a Dolphins fan. It's over. Dougie Fresh says, "Oh, what are your thoughts on concerts where people stand while others complain they can't see the performance? I mean, isn't it a rock concert?" I'm with you there. Now, if you're standing for a Neil Diamond concert, you know what I'm saying? And, the audience is about an average of 67 years old. Yeah, you might want to sit down for everybody else. But you're right. If you're in an AC/DC concert and you're sitting down, well, then, you know what? You loser. You don't belong in an AC/DC concert. Right? I'm watching Metallica and I'm jamming Metallica and Unforgiven or whatever the hell they're playing. And some guy behind me says, "Hey, sit down, man." I'm going to turn to him and say, "This is a Metallica concert, dude. You don't sit in a Metallica concert." So, yes, it all depends. Okay? If we're watching Dionne Warwick, we want to be sitting down. You know what I'm saying? Maybe if I'm enjoying Ambrosia, I'm sitting down. But yeah, there are certain concerts you're not going to tell me to sit down for an Iron Maiden concert. I'll give you the middle finger and tell you up the irons. So that's my concert take for a man that's been to easily over 1,200 concerts. Flo, what's your opinion on the Florida Panthers hot streak? They're winning. Giovanni's sending that in. Frank C says, "Look, Flo will be out. My fear is that he will be gone too late after he got rid of Tua and left us with Watson or even worse, Kirk Cousins. Coaches come and go, but players like Tua don't." Flo, watch the tape and Fix Things show. The Fix Things show. Let's see. Flo could make ASMR videos for YouTube. Flo had 4 O-line coaches, 4 OCs in 3 years. Yeah, let's give this man another season. I'm sure he'll fix the offense in year 4. Perfect example of insanity. I'm with you, man. Ragin says, "Bro, Maryland isn't that cold by New England and Buffalo standards." I don't think it's the cold, Ragin. I think it's the weather. I think he has to learn how to play with a wet ball, and I think he should learn how to play with a glove. But that's one of those things that he's going to have to learn throughout the offseason. Neil Diamond still does concerts. Well, he used to before the pandemic. I don't know if post-pandemic, well, I'm sure he's not doing it now. But yeah, he was doing it right up to the pandemic, dude. Yeah. No, not for nothing, bro. My eyes, Neil Diamond's a badass, but that's just me. Whatever. Come watch the English Beat with me. Where is the English Beat going to be? Come on. Don't save it for later. Tell me right now. All right? Tell me right now. During the break, I'm going to go see if there's a mirror in the bathroom. I need to know. You know what killed me, right? I mean, no pun intended by me saying that. Jesus. What's that? Hard Rock Live Orlando when? Oh, okay. Because I know that they were coming here and they canceled, I think it was. Or are they still coming? No, wait a minute. I think they're still. No, I'm going to the English Beat here. Isn't it the English Beat and something else here? They're coming with another band. I think I'm going to go to that one. But anyway, couple of years back, I had tickets to see the English Beat with Rankin. Okay, Rankin Roger was going to be with them. And so I'm going to get to see both guys, obviously. And so I was super pumped because I've seen the English Beat a couple of times prior, but it was without Rankin Roger over at the Culture Room and somewhere else. I saw them in South Florida. I forgot where, but it was without Rankin. And then Rankin has the stroke, man, and passes away, and they cancel that show. And when they canceled that show, we were going to be there for a whole week in California. And I ended up getting tickets to go see the Interrupters at in Pomona at the Glass House. So for any of you that are watching in Southern California, you know what I'm talking about, the Glass House. And I had a blast, by the way. I love anybody that knows me knows I love the Interrupters. They're my favorite ska band on the planet right now. What do we got? Culture Room, right? English Beat. I knew that they were coming. Yes, I'll be there. I'll be there. Here's the funny part. March 18th is my 28th wedding anniversary. You know, hey, but listen, brother, you're my witness. A couple years ago, I took her to Paris for this. So I got to say, sweetheart, you know, we went to Paris a few years ago. This year, we're going to go see the English Beat. But she loves the English Beat anyway, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, and that's a Culture Room, bro. Come on. A nice little dinner somewhere in Fort Lauderdale. And then we'll go right to the Culture Room and enjoy a little English Beat. Okay? I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, when Rankin passed away, damn, that hurt, man. That hurt. That bothered me. It really did. Let's see. What else do we have here? Dougie Fresh goes, Ambrosia going deep. That's right. Got to do that. Lee J. Cook says, hi from Wales, UK, Big O. Really enjoying your show, and surely Tua can play with his ball in the shower, Mum.
Hey, the Miami Dolphins have given out their team awards.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want me to go over this?
Let's go.
All right. The Dan Marino Most Valuable Player. Who do you think got it?
Waddle.
Jalen Waddle. The Don Shula Leadership Award. He's on the IR.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. I was going to say.
I think he is. Jason McCourty is who I was.
That's right. He was up for it. I was going to say Agba.
All right.
Okay, go ahead.
The Ed Block Courage Award.
Ed Block Courage Award. I'm going to go with Mac Hollins.
Landon Roberts.
Okay. All right. He's a thumper. That some bitch will hit you, bro.
God,
I love watching him play.
Award.
He's a little limited, but man, he leaves it all on the field. And Landon Roberts, got to say that.
The last one's the Nat Moore Community Service Award.
I don't know who's the guy behind the scenes that does all the community work. I'm not in the locker room. Nobody's in the locker room now.
Jalen Phillips got it, by the way.
Okay. All right.
So there's your 4 awards.
And he seems like a good kid, man. I like Jalen Phillips. Boy, some of you were already quitting on Jalen Phillips in the first month of the season. They were calling him a bust. Flo's radio show would sound like the Mike Counter morning show in Tampa. I have no idea what that is, more Sereno. I guess you must not like Mike Counter. I've never even heard of the guy. I don't know who he is. Dougie Fresh says, bring your wife to Pensacola Fairgrounds. I know some people. Ryan Nunez, thank you, sir, for a little love in the super chat. Says, can you take a moment and explain crypto.com app to a first-timer, downloader, and any promotional codes when starting? Well, you can go to my Twitter page at Big O Show, so you can get $25 free dollars of Bitcoin when you get the card. And get the card. If you go to crypto.com, if you can afford it, and right now there's a nice dip going on, so it's a perfect time. So they have different cards. And the first one is, you don't want to. The second one, the Ruby Red, if you can stake $400 in Crow, that will give you higher staking percentages for Ethereum, for Bitcoin, for VeChain, for Algorand, for whatever that you want to stake. They've got it all there. Matic, you name it. So that's what I would tell you. Use if you want to use crypto.com, or OKCoin is another great one. Sometimes they've got better rates than crypto.com. Depends on the coins you want. So I like both those because not everybody has all the coins. So with both of those, you can get a lot of the coins you're looking for. You're still going to be missing some. But those are two good ones. And both, you can get $50 free of Bitcoin with okcoin.com on my Twitter page at Big O Show. And you can get $25 free of Bitcoin on crypto.com. Okay? There you go. And as I've told many of you already, for you beginners, I'm not a financial advisor, okay? But I'll tell you what, Ryan, you are asking at the perfect time right now, okay? Because everything has hit a low right now. Here's what I would do. You, whatever money you can afford, I can't speak for you. Whatever you invest, don't invest your rent, don't invest your mortgage, don't invest the food for your family, don't invest your car payment. Invest what you are able to lose, okay? It's like, stocks, whatever, invest what you can lose, okay? Here's your 100% pie, Ryan, and we'll give it again to everybody out there. 40% Bitcoin, 30% Ethereum, and then you've got 30% left, right? 10, 10, and 10, all right? Any of these three of any of these coins, 10, 10, and 10, Polkadot, Polygon, VeChain, Cardano, Avalanche, Solana, any of those three you want. I don't care. Okay? But 40% Bitcoin, 30% Ethereum, and then 10, 10, and 10 with the rest of them. Any of those three. I love all those coins. They'll all be fine. They'll all gain, and just let it sit there. Whatever you have out of that 100% pie, $50, $100, $500, 5,000, 10,000, whatever you can afford. But that's how you break the pie down in a simple way, and just let it go. Okay? That's what I would tell you for a starter, and just let it go. All right. Big O Waddle won the MVP award. Yeah, he should. Waddle's, Yeah, the team MVP. Yeah. Yeah, he should. He's awesome. The kid's been amazing, dude. It's like a 10-year veteran playing as a rookie. I couldn't be more impressed with Jalen Waddle. When he gets an offensive coordinator and a real line and a running game, you're going to see much bigger plays from the kid. Alexander says, Big O, good afternoon, my friend. Tell you what, this whole thing with the AB situation could blow up in Tampa's face because it's more believable. All right. Well, Alexander, let's talk a little bit about that story with Antonio Brown. And Antonio Brown, look, problem with Antonio Brown, here's the main – do you want to know what the main problem with Antonio Brown is? He has no credibility. That's my main problem. And look, I don't trust, Antonio Brown's lawyer. I don't trust anybody's lawyer for any kind of scumbag that's out there, because unfortunately, lawyers then have to lie for scumbags. Doesn't matter if you're protecting, if you're defending Ben Roethlisberger or O.J. Simpson or whatever. Once you're tied to a scumbag, now you've got to then defend the scumbag. So for me, it's not really something that I understand what he's talking about, and maybe it's true. Maybe Tampa wanted him to shoot up or whatever it is. But the problem that I have right now is we're talking about a person that has zero credibility. So it's not that I'm saying that I got to believe Tampa. I'm just saying I got to see the proof in order for me to believe anything that Antonio Brown ever says about anything in life. And that ultimately, ladies and gentlemen, is my problem with this whole thing. If you have no credibility, it's really hard to actually believe anything that you're saying. It's hard for me to say, oh, yeah, no, you got to believe that guy. This isn't Steph Curry saying this. This isn't Tony Gwynn. This isn't Cal Ripken or Tim Tebow. Somebody credible like that. So the attorney for Antonio Brown issued a statement on Wednesday in which he shared the wide receiver side of Sunday's events, which culminated in the former Bucs star stripping off his uniform and exiting the field mid-game. Sean Burston, the current attorney for Brown, shared Brown's side of things in a lengthy statement. All right, and so let me read this statement for you so you guys will get. I'm going to bring it up here, but pulling it up on the internet. So it's taken forever for this thing to open up. How's that? What? Oh, I'm trying to. The statement from the attorney from it. But anyway, the statement argues that Brown was bothered by an ankle injury, one the coaches knew about before the game, and he received a pain-killing injection for. The statement says one of the Buccaneers coaches shouted at Brown to ask what was wrong. Brown claims he couldn't go in the game because of his ankle. After that, Brown claims the coach yelled, "You're done," and ran his thumb across his throat. Brown is now saying that he was cut by the Bucs, so he ran off the field. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe he's just saying, "You're done?" Like, you're done? That doesn't mean anything bad. That's just like, you mean it's over? Like you can't get back in? Okay. But, he's not the brightest bulb in the chandelier. He might have taken it wrong. Again, we're talking about Antonio Brown. No credibility. Burston also says that Brown will undergo surgery on his ankle after an MRI showed the extent of the injury. The statements provided additional background that may explain why the Bucs have not yet cut Brown. Tampa's trying to see if Brown needs to see a doctor of the team's choice. According to the attorney, Brown's party seems to be preparing for some sort of possible injury-related grievance with the Bucs. And of course he has to do that. He's lost a bunch of money over the years. He's been incredibly irresponsible. He owes people money left and right. He's had all kinds of legal issues, still has more legal issues. Of course he's going to turn this into a money grab. They released him? Okay, so they released him. So then they weren't that worried about any injury grievance either. Look, man, I don't know what it's Antonio Brown, dude. That's the whole problem with this whole story. Am I supposed to waste time and waste my energy in trying to believe Antonio Brown? I've given up on that clown years ago. He's a waste of a human being anyways, in my eyes. He's garbage. All that guy's ever done is abuse people. Everything that's happened to Antonio Brown, he's had it coming to him. You know what this is all called for Antonio Brown? It's called karma. When you're a perpetual asshole, it's usually going to come back to you. And so there you go. And you still got a title last year. And you still got away with crap. This guy had a fake vaccination card, and they still brought him back. So anyone that will lie like that, who the hell has credibility? Why does he deserve any sympathy? Why does he deserve any understanding? He doesn't. Bring AB to Miami. It fits with this clown show. When it smells like crap, it's usually crap. That's what George Albanese says. And that's the other thing. When Tampa signed him, what, you didn't know? I think you all knew. You know what I'm saying? I think you all knew. Can You order with her? Yeah. Anyway, so it's just one of those deals. I just you've kind of earned your spot in life right now.
And to add more to it, Adam Schefter a little bit ago put down that at halftime, Antonio Brown was agitated about not getting targets expected during the game, and he had to be calmed down at halftime of the game.
There you go. And Tom Brady puts up with this, and he put his name on the line and all that crap, and this is how you reward the guy. Brother, you should be grateful. Nobody was going to sign you. Only the Bucks and Tom Brady was going to, because it wasn't the coach. The coach only tolerated the signing because he didn't want you in the first place. And he had to eat his words for his quarterback because he wants a Super Bowl. That's my problem with all of this. GP Trap says he'll pawn his ring. He ends up broke. I mean, Antonio Brown ends up massively broke. Okay? I was wrong about how the Tyson story would end years ago. And when Tyson was in the middle of his malaise, that his life was completely upside down, I thought, oh man, this is going to end ugly. I kind of expected the guy to kill himself somehow. You know what I'm saying? And thank the Lord that Tyson was able to find his way and figure it out and at least make a life for himself, But Antonio Brown, this ends ugly. There's no, I'm not thinking as bad as like Tyson. I thought it would be like death. No, this guy ends up broke, and this ends up like maybe jail. This ends up ugly. That's where it's headed. Kind of like Le'Veon Bell. He ends up broke. He's got like 8 baby mamas and 46 kids. How in the hell? Who the hell makes that much money? And all these baby mamas, oh man, all their children live lives like I wish I did. They need like $10,000, $15,000 a month in child support. You think you can get by with $15,000 in child support in your family? Huh? Big O, what's your favorite thing from the Sports Grill menu? No, it's always the special grilled wings. Always. The special grilled wings are an addiction. Okay? And let me tell you, the one thing that sucks about doing the show with you guys at Sports Grill, it's because I'm there in front of all of you, I don't eat the wings. Not this man. He chomps down. But I don't want you guys seeing me eat it and my fingers and all. So I have to pick something simple when I'm in front of all of you when I'm doing the pre and post game show. Post game, I'm not eating by then. I eat something like in the second half of the game. Usually is when I'm eating.
It upsets me. I tell you that now.
What's that?
Me. You're not eating.
I don't.
You have a fry.
Yeah. Yes.
And I'm over here with mozzarella sticks and chicken wings.
I do steal a mozzarella stick every time from you.
Yeah, but next time I'm stabbing a hand. Taking a hand. I'm done. Get your own mozzarella sticks.
I love you, brother. Oh, you think CTE related for AB? No, I don't. I just think he's an asshole. That's all. Antonio Brown, yeah. Does his elevator go to the top floor? Probably not. Is he maybe a sandwich or two short of a picnic? Yeah. Do both oars hit the water for Antonio Brown? No, probably not. Any of those cliches we want to use. But let's not separate the fact that he's also an asshole. Okay? There's a lot of people in this world that sadly deal with mental issues, and they're really good people. And they try to be good people every day. And they're good human beings, and they fight the fight, and they try to be better, and they're there, and they're having issues, and they let you help them, and all those kind of things. There's a lot of people that have to deal with adversity, and they still try to be decent human beings. So let's not excuse somebody. We have this thing now that we give a pass to athletes and we say everything is CTE. No. Sometimes you're a bad human being. Sometimes you're an asshole. And sometimes you're irresponsible. It's not about CTE. You know what I mean? That's lazy. Okay? And you know what? That's also unfair to a whole bunch of people that are dealing with mental issues. Because now you're labeling all of them like, okay, they're all assholes because they're having mental issues. No, there's a bunch of people that have mental issues. And you know what? They're good human beings, man. And they're trying to fight. And they're trying to survive in life. And they're trying to have a life. And they're trying to enjoy their families and everything. And they're trying to deal with whatever chemical imbalance that they have. But we want to give athletes a pass when they're committing crimes, when they're lazy, when they're idiots, when they're disrespectful on a continuous basis. You know what I mean? CTE when you're sexually assaulting a woman. CTE when you're beating up a truck driver that's just bringing you your furniture. And all he wants is to get paid for services, and you don't want to pay him, but you want to kick his ass. You leave in the middle of a game. And by the way, I just told you when they said, oh, they told me, oh, you're done, and they did the throat sign, that doesn't mean it's bad. Anybody, you're trying to converse with somebody, oh, no, dude, I can't do it. You're done? You're done? You're leaving? Yeah, dude, I'm out of here. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm done. You know, the party's a little too long for me. It's 1 a.m. Yeah, I'm done. I'm out of here. Doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean anything disrespectful or anything like that. He could have taken it that way. Let's see. What else do we have here on the super chat? James Sapoznikov says, with Calvin Ridley trade rumors, what would it take for the Finns to get him? Jamie, here's where Jamie, you just saw the team draft Jalen Waddle, and they found Mac Hollins off of the street. They know how to draft. Why would you want to give up picks and a fat-ass contract to pick up a receiver? I know you need him, but if you know how to draft, why don't you just draft another receiver? You get what I mean? And then you get him young, and if you get him in the first round, you have him for 5 years. If you get him in the second round, you have him for 4 years. And you don't have to pay him big money. Calvin, you would have to give up picks and a big-ass contract. That's a double whammy, my brother. That is counterproductive. You want to get another receiver so you don't have to pay him for a while. So, you know, what can I tell you? All right, Calvin really had his mental issues, killed my fantasy team. He's a good player, but that's not how you get better. That's not how you get better. You draft. And right now that would not be what I would do, Jamie. I would definitely not do that. Big O Arians did it for Brady. It helped get a ring, the gamble on AB, and it worked out. At the end of the day, you're playing fire. You eventually get burned. Should have been one and done. Yeah, you're right. George, you're 1,000% right, my brother. You know what I mean? So you're 1,000% right. They played with fire, and they got lucky the first year. It worked out, and it finally caught up to you because it's Antonio Brown. You know? So it's rough. It's rough. Are we gonna get Steve on? Okay, but I got a couple minutes, man. I gotta go. I got a big meeting here in a couple minutes. I got to be a part of. See. Let's see. Charleston Rambo to the Dolphins. He looked good, huh? He played well this year, man. Wow, that was fun to watch. Big O, the sleeper on the menu is a special grilled chicken with nachos and jack and cheese at Sports Grill. Can't wait to the Doral one. You know, I'm going over to Doral today. Actually, go check it out. When I leave here, I'm going to go out to Doral and have a little fun and check it out and talk with the boys. Let me see. We got Steve here, but this is going to be lightning quick if we get Steve on. Okay, like lightning quick, because they're going to call me in a couple minutes. In fact, I should already start tearing down, so I'm ready to go. You know what I'm saying? But oh, by the way, the chicken parm sandwich, I never had tried that at Sports Grill, and in fact, I got to give Alexa V credit because she had it and she said it was good and it was delicious. The bread they used for it was awesome. Steve, you there?
Sure, Big O. What's going on?
Oh, not much, man. Steve Calabro, manager, of course, here, of course, of Hialeah Park and Casino. Steve, we're wrapping up, baby. You, what the hell, man? Why did you wait so long, man?
Oh man, I was doing some other stuff, and I had some technical issues too. But it's the lightning version. It's the lightning version. I understand it. I'm going to give you. I talked to the wise guy. You know, the wise guy had a rough week last week. The Jersey wise guy had a rough week last week, but I think he's going to redeem himself this week.
I got to say, he was due. I mean, the man was like unstoppable the first 4 weeks. So, it was kind of like it was due that he was going to. But the good thing is we didn't give it out in public last week, so nobody got screwed, and everybody only knows the good picks. So, let's keep it going with the good picks this week. What do you got?
All right, so the Jersey wise guy, he likes the Bears over the Vikings. Now, I have to explain something. He hates Zimmer. Oh, this is like he just thinks he's the worst coach in the NFL.
By the way, have fun with him and say, have you seen Zimmer's girlfriend? And then tell him, I'm serious. I am dead serious. She's half his age, and she's a smoke show. Okay, just I forgot her name, but just put Mike Zimmer girlfriend, and then just have fun with him and say, hey, you hate him, but look what he's got in bed, and just piss him off that way. Okay, just have some fun with him. I'm telling you, she's a total smoke show. I mean, you're like a 63-year-old guy is with this. Like I'm telling you, watch.
Well, that's good info. That's great info, Big O. So the next one is this. The next one I don't like. He knows we're from Miami, and the Jersey wise guy is getting a little rough on us. He loves the Pats. He loves the Pats over the Dolphins this week. It's a tough ball. He just thinks that the Pats need it first, and the Dolphins are gonna get beat up. I don't agree with him, but he's all about the Patriots.
Okay,
weird.
But is it?
What's your thought on that?
What's the spread?
5.5.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan.
I wouldn't touch that game. I would not bet the Patriots. I'm not betting against the Dolphins and sitting there praying for the Dolphins to lose. But I will say I am not confident about this game, Steve. I will say that.
Yeah. The other one that he likes, and he really likes this one, but I don't. But I got hurt with the Rams before. He likes the 49ers over the Rams. It's 5.5 too. They're getting 5.5. He just thinks that the 49ers are in a must-win situation, and he likes them. So I don't know. I think that the Jersey wise guy is. We'll have to see. He's been known to be spectacular at some weeks, and
remember, I don't know exactly the combination, Steve, but about 3 weeks ago, we kind of hated his picks, and he was right on all of them. So,
I know.
So I want to say it was 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago, but I remember he gave us the picks, and we were kind of looking at it fishy, and we're like, what the hell? And he ended up hitting on all of them. So, what are you going to do, dude? I mean.
Maybe. So I got another one too. One last thing, because I know this is you got some important stuff this afternoon, and I know you got to run, but just want to let all your listeners know and your viewers know, you've been great to us here at Hialeah Park, and let them know that January 28th we've got a live boxing match. Every one of the matches has a Cuban on the card. It's basically a Cuban boxing match. So it's either Cuban fighter versus another Cuban fighter, or a Cuban fighter versus Puerto Rican, Cuban versus Venezuelan. It's pretty amazing. It's a great Latino card with a little bit of a Cuban flair.
Right.
And I think, for Hialeah, this is going to be a really great thing. And it's live boxing, January 28th. Man, we'll talk about it next week too. And it's just going to be a great event, a great night.
It's going to be awesome. We've already talked about it a couple times here on the show. I've talked about it also throughout the week. Let's see, next week, you join us. Let's give away some tickets, okay, next week. So
that's a plan. That's a definite. That's a plan. Next week, we'll let your viewers know, your listeners know, we're giving away boxing tickets for the January 28th Hialeah Park, Latino Boxing Festival, I guess we could call it.
Right.
And let's keep our fingers crossed with the Jersey Wise guy.
Yeah, looking for. Well, I mean, listen, I'm gonna bet him anyway because the dude's been on a roll, and so I'm already up. I'm in the green, as they say, with him. So I'm gonna run, even if I except for the New England one. That one I will not be betting because
that's a hard thing. Yeah,
I'm not going to be betting I'm not betting the Dolphins, and I'm certainly not betting for New England. I'm not touching that one. That's the only one I'm not touching. Only because my heart my heart hurts already enough as it is for the Dolphins.
So. I think the biggest one we got to watch is the Vikings game, because the whole Zimmer thing. I think I can't wait to go talk to the Jersey Wise guy. I can't do it in person. He'll probably hit me if I talk to me, if I show him a pretty girlfriend that Mike Zimmer has. Holy mackerel.
I'm telling you, Google right now Mike Zimmer's girlfriend, and you're going to freak out. Okay? All right.
How do you know that stuff, Big O? How do you know that? That's great data.
The information that is in this head, the amount of useless information that is in this head is just, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that's why I'm a talk show host, because I have a lot of useless information in my head. I don't know.
First of all, I love useless information, and I'm loving this particular useful bit. Well, I love it.
We already had this segment a couple weeks back, or a couple months back, or whatever, and we were showing all the pictures on the show. That's why we tell people, we know the podcast is number one because like 95, 97% of our audience is downloading. Only like 2 or 3% of the audience actually watches it live. But that's why I always say sometimes it's worth to watch it, because not that I'm worth watching, but there are things worth watching. And Mike Zimmer's girlfriend was one of those that day.
That's amazing. Well, it sounds great, Big O. And I'm sorry that was such a quick in and out this week, but we got something to root for. And hopefully the Wise guys 2 for 3 this week, and the Dolphins do win. Because, we are Dolphin fans here in Hialeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, no doubt about that, dude. No doubt about that. By the way, let me, I'm just going to have some fun with you right now. You have your phone on you, right?
I sure do.
Of course, because you're talking on it. So all you got to do now is look at your phone, and you will see Mike Zimmer and his girlfriend. Okay? So that's
text message. I'm assuming it's a text message.
It's a text message that's there for you, and it's Mike Zimmer's girlfriend, and she is right there for you, my man. And
holy, the magazine cover is unbelievable.
She's a Maxim model. Yes, exactly. That's my point. Yes.
There's no way. Yeah. There's no way.
Yes. That's his girlfriend, dude. I told you that when you saw it, okay? And the last one I sent you right now, that she's on the beach in her bikini. That's like, here's the thing. How has he not had a heart attack already?
No wonder he doesn't care about calling a good game.
Exactly. If I had that at home, what the hell do I care about coaching a Minnesota Viking team? What am I so, come on.
Listen, the only thing I can say is there is one comment that comes to my mind is hats off to the doctor. Hell of a job.
Yeah. Yeah. No doubt. No doubt. That little blue pill is working overtime. That's for damn sure. Anyway.
Well, I meant the doctor that was working on the girlfriend.
No, I know.
And I'm sure, but hats off to Zimmer's doctor too, because I'm sure the blue pill is probably the double dose.
It's crazy. All right, my brother, you be good. We will catch up next week. We will give away tickets for the boxing events.
Week?
Yes. All right.
Next week's a short thing. We give away tickets to the January 28th live boxing back in Hialeah.
You got it. It's a beautiful thing. Steve,
Thanks,
thank you, my brother. Have a great weekend, my friend.
All right.
You got it.
Take care.
There you go. Steve Calabro, man, the general manager here at Hialeah Park. We'll be back here next Thursday like we are every single Thursday. We thank all of you out there, as always, for chiming in on the program. People always freak when they see Mike Zimmer's girlfriend, right? It's one of those things that is hard for people to believe that is Mike Zimmer's girlfriend. Like, wait a minute, hold on a second. How's that dude going out with that, right? That's kind of the way they look at it. I think it's more chloroform than blue pill, Dougie Fresh says. It's awesome. How is he still alive? She'd kill him in 30. She'd kill most older guys. Hell, I'm obsessed with his girlfriend. Well, hey, Dolphins, who do you want as your next head coach? We want Mike Zimmer. Can he coach? Who cares? We never hire a good coach. At least he's got a fine-ass girlfriend. All right, we're out of here. We thank Sean Stanley, of course. Excellent work. Frank Fiore. You heard Steve Calabro. The Brunetti family, always so supportive of our show. We really appreciate it. We will see you tomorrow, man. And we'll be in studio tomorrow. Same time, same place, same bat channel. Love you all.
This is the Big O Show.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available, from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
It's the Big O Show.